All right, here we are with Fellowship, Star Wars, Pitch Black, Season 1, Episode 4, Full House. I am Devin, playing the Overlord Framework. We are in February 2021, and I have with us...
I'm Stephanie, playing 411KM, a droid, using the Air playbook.
I'm Nicole, playing General Dreadnought, Arc Clone Trooper, the Tinker playbook.
Peter as Shining Peak, the Nelvanian Force Mystic, the Ogre.
Ian, playing Sicarius, a Harch, the Spider playbook.
I'm Holden, playing Zevin Dre, Human Jedi Knight, using the Lantern playbook.
God damn, guys, I'm so proud of how well you did.
First try.
You crushed it.
I'm
All
ship.
That's probably the first time we've said first try and actually meant it.
So, where we left off last session, you guys saved the community of Nebula Draw of the Lasat capital from the Necromonger threat. You bodied Killer Croc and stopped them from destroying a community. So you've been brought back to Nebula Draw and have largely been hailed as heroes and decided to take a little bit of downtime to recover. And we'll go through that, but I'll give the basics. Parties are being thrown. There are parades happening because the Republic's going to be coming back. You guys can basically hang out wherever you want and get like full access to places, and you'll just not be questioned because you're all being given a hero's welcome. You're all going to be housed, recovered, taken out, wine and dined. Pictures are going to be taken. People are going to do holo vids of you. The whole deal. You're heroes here. So, as we dive into a little downtime, let's set the scene. Sicarius, where do you sleep at night?
Sicarius sleeps in a hammock made out of silk, for sure.
Are you on your ship, or are you in an apartment? Did you take time to get all fancy and relaxy, or did you just stay in your little room on your ship?
Definitely still on the ship. Sicarius is not used to the finer things in life. So yeah,
he lives with a billionaire.
Yeah, well, you know what? He doesn't see it that way.
Well, that billionaire likes oil baths and so on.
Oh yeah, no, I guess that makes sense. Top shelf example. All right. So, Sicarius, you're sleeping in your hammock and you're tossing and you're turning, and we zoom in and the dream smear happens as we cut to directly in the center of the screen, like the camera is focused on with a fisheye lens, the face of Admiral Trench. Half his face is having like bandages taken off and like wiring like drilled into under the bandaging. As you can see, he has extensive cybernetic replacements all over his face, replacing one of his mandibles, most of his eyes. It's a whole thing. And the background after that happens, you can hear a droid voice saying, the operation was complete. Integration successful. We will now need to begin rehabilitation. And the background shifts from him being in a med bay to him sitting at a table, still in that same camera angle, slowly with his normal arm putting food into his mouth, and then with his droid arm trying the same thing, but he's struggling because the droid arm won't grip things and it shakes and he can't quite get it to work. Then it shifts to him in a meeting with a holovid in front of him as like the reflection is showing on his face and his droid parts. In the reflection of his faceplate, you can see a hologram of Newt Gunray telling him, I'm sorry, Trench, but you're being assigned to guard the Strait of Messina. That's just what the Separatists have voted. There was a vote, after all. And Trench just talking, and his one mandible won't quite open all the way. That doesn't make sense. I'm Admiral Trench. I'm the greatest military mind you've ever had. You can't assign me here because of one incident with a Jedi. That doesn't make sense. We've run the calculations with your droid generals and all of your military computers. I should be out on the front line. I should be back into service. You're going to start losing systems. And Newt puts up his hands like, we have no time to delegate your failures. This is where you are now, Trench. Accept your lot in life. And it ends. The scene then cuts to Trench in his bedroom, with a large metal framework behind him, and both arms are holding on to like handlebars. And you hear in the background a droid say, "1 push-up." And it's just him struggling with his droid cybernetic components, trying to do a push-up and just not doing it. before he tells the droid, put on Trench Video 001. And it's a replaying video of his ship being hit by another ship and all of its missiles while Anakin Skywalker voices over. And you just see the close up on his face, close his eyes and open them, and just do one push-up after another as he's listening to it and watching it on repeat. The camera then zooms away to the screen, and after a couple minutes, Trench himself walks up as it's no longer locked onto his face and turns it off, and just starts talking to himself. I don't understand. Why would they not put me on the front line? They run droids. They run tactical computers. It has to be obvious. And he starts bringing up battle maps showing like confrontations between the Republic and the Separatists. And he's like, computer, show me the changing of borders across this war. Do calculations as if it was a zero-sum game. Tell me the weighing of it. And like it starts to show like two bars. One's red, one's blue, going away from the center. And it shows that over time as the war goes on over the last few years, it's shifted left and right, but always kind of stayed in the middle. And he just goes, but that doesn't make sense. Why would we be making options that would keep the war going and would keep resources dwindling? It would only benefit a third party that's looking to drain the resources of both sides and on the neutral worlds being fought over. There's then a montage of him running battle calculations and looking at history books and like old footage from the Clone Wars that you've all seen if you've watched the TV series, and him like looking at how events went on before finally he looks very frazzled and moves over to a comm panel and like brings up like pictures of you, and then starts bringing up like news from the Strait of Messina and the Necromongers talking about like a war against all of the Republic. And he pulls up a communique that he gotten previously and creates a call into the Strait. The Lord Commander appears in a small hologram and goes, I've looked over your offer and I accept. Communication ends, zooms out of Trench's home, out of his window on his ship, on his command cruiser, as all of them start to turn towards the storm that is the black hole, and drive the fleet towards it as they're opening fire on other Trade Federation ships and star bases in the area, blowing them up. And then as they warp into the Strait, they shoot the gates on either side that keep the area stable, and just warp right in. And Ian, you wake up from that dream in a sweat.
Yeah. This is, oh boy. I'm assuming I don't normally get visions.
No, you normally don't get prophetic dreams about your brother.
Yeah, this is bad. Where's where's the Jedi?
Well, you have three Jedi you can go to.
That's true.
One of them is a player character.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to Zevin, and because they seem to be a pretty talented Jedi, they were able to help the Captain Crunch. So clearly they're talented.
Clearly, I'm supposed to go to them for advice.
Hello, Zevin. Am I the asshole?
All right, Zevin. So real quick, Sicarius shows up and has something for you.
Yeah,
where are you on the ship?
I'm feeling a disturbance in the Force, as though a camera just spent a long time zoomed in on a guy with a spider face.
I mean, that would disturb the Force for sure.
Probably meditating somewhere on the ship in one of the cargo holds or the like.
All right, there's where he is then.
Yeah, I walk in. Hello, Zevin, Master Jedi Gray. I don't. Yeah.
Sicarius. What has you up at this time of night?
I don't normally do religion, but I just had a vision, I think, or I don't know what, but I saw my brother coming here to the Strait, and I don't think it's going to bode well.
I would point out you don't know who his brother is.
Probably a spider.
Yeah, definitely. If I was
Would
a
it be
bet,
weird if it wasn't? like I do the Vulcan mind meld thing, and I see a Wookiee. You know,
well, like it's like in How I Met Your Mother when goddamn, what's his name? Songman.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris, as a child in How I Met Your Mother, has a brother, and his brother's black, and they're both clearly adopted, or they're both biologically brothers. You don't really know, but they keep asking their mom, and the mom's like, "Why do you think you're not brothers?" It's like, "Well, he's black and I'm white." It's like, "You're both a little bunch of racists, aren't you?"
Excellent.
Right? Anyway, the significance of his brother coming here is lost on you, I'm afraid, Seven.
Well, that's a bad thing.
Yes. Do you fought with the Separatists, right? Like against the Separatists, not with the Separatists.
Okay, I was just about to say, whoa, dude, are you throwing accusations around here?
Like you
McCarthyism.
Well, do you see Dooku?
I regret that I have.
Yeah. Did you ever encounter a Admiral Trench?
Now, Holden, alarm bells go off at this point and probably a bunch of like montage scenes of briefings you've been in where he's described as the most effective military mind of the last several generations, and he works for the Separatists because of course he would.
Well, I've only heard of the man by reputation.
Yeah,
that's the point where I've just pulled up a little mental image of what the man looks like, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, we're probably going to meet him soon.
Now, Devin, you were saying something about him having died?
Yeah, Holden, or Zevin, the last time you heard of Admiral Trench, Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker played cat and mouse with him and had missiles shot at him, and he trailed the missiles into his bridge with his own ship and killed him. Like, he blew up.
So the news that he's dead actually makes the likelihood of us running into him here like more plausible, considering what we've already seen. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I had no idea. You're certain this is not just a bad dream.
As I say, I don't normally get visions. This felt like more than a dream. I saw my brother. I did see him just a little while ago while we were on this planet. Actually, he tried to kidnap me. It's usual thing. It happens every other week. Honestly, the kidnapping is not the big deal here. He's always trying to get me to go home. Something about how we're the heir to the throne of the city or some baloney. Like, we're an important people. I don't know what we are. Like, it's my brother's he's always going off about things. But so when I saw him, he was definitely injured. And in my dream, I saw him getting a bunch of cybernetics, which is definitely something he would do. They were very intricate and nice looking, considering most people don't get nice cybernetics around here. It's one, yeah. And nice cybernetics. And then he talked to a hologram of the necromonger boss guy. And that didn't bode well for us, I don't think. He's not pleased that the Separatists told him he can't be a general anymore for them. And I think he's still pissed at the Republic. So I feel like he's wanting to just join a third party and show them that he can win because he likes to win.
So Seven's setting aside the many, many questions he has now.
That's a lot.
And just reaches out to touch Sicarius on the shoulder. I'm hoping my lantern, my buddy of the Force, can maybe step in to share a little bit of what's racing through his mind, or any lingering?
You do get the summary of that dream, and you recognize a lot more context clues than he does. Like that was Newt Gunray, like the research he was doing, like him babbling to himself about how the war looks. You could see really clear his mind becoming a little more unhinged as time goes on during that quick montage.
And I can feel that this was a genuine vision, not just a stress dream.
You have foreboding on your mind after you touch him, because now you feel like things are coming.
And in particular, we saw him blow up the stabilization gates around the main entrance into.
Yeah, it's going to take the Separatist Alliance a long time to rebuild those. Those things were antiques.
So we're trapped in here now.
I mean, you could probably pilot your way out with a ship, but it's much harder for commercial cargo to come and go. And commercial cargo was kind of how the Separatists kept this place under control and made sure the Necromongers didn't get too crazy and made sure their interests were kept. Like, the Banking Clan doesn't have backup anymore if their intercity vessels get destroyed.
Every single time you say the Banking Clan, I think you're saying the Baking Clan.
If this was a different game, Nicole, the Baking Clan would be just as colonizing, destructive, destroy-y as the Baking Clan.
They're like, do you have any idea how bad it is for the environment to plant just vast fields of wheat? Yeah,
do you have any idea how crazy people get about the price of bread? That's why a baker's doesn't exist, because if they were found that you're using government wheat to undercook your bread, they executed you. The Baking Clan is serious. They put seals on their bread. The bread standard is a real thing in history and cultures.
Amazing.
Yeah. So there it is. Unless you have any more questions or any more things you want to do,
Sicarius, I think we're all in a great deal of danger, and I think we need to call a meeting with the rest of the group.
Goody. Yeah. We'll put a pin in that as time goes on, because everyone's doing their own thing during this downtime.
Cool.
So let us now shift to the next part of the little downtime.
Is that worth some mutual bond writing down?
Go for it. Yeah, go for it. Dog.
Okay.
Cool.
So, 411KM, are you here? Staff?
I'm here, but I was turning heater off so I can turn my mic on without roaring at everyone.
Freeze for your art, Staff. You got to get a good blanket on. It's a chilly winter.
It is. It's snowing here.
Ooh, how precious. So, 411KM, while you've been doing whatever it is you do during this downtime, you get called to the Nebula Draw Medical Center on Nebula Draw because they just finished checking out your whole crew. Everyone here, you went to the doctors to get a checkup. Just saying it happened, because, I'm almost certain Holden would have gotten checked out. He got bit by a spider with a face on it that a crocodile poisoned him with. I'm pretty sure even if you thought the Force would fight it off, you wanted to get checked for larvae, right?
Oh my gosh!
So all of you went to the
don't
doctor.
make me pull a hexen or whatever his name was. Don't start talking about larvae getting.
I don't know what a hexen is, but I'm sure it's wonderful.
Oh, that character I played that was like, I don't want to get implanted with the xenomorph, so I'm just gonna quit going on adventures.
That was excellent. Anyway, that was hexen because you were So you were at the medical academy. I'm going to say that you were brought here alone because all of your crew have just gotten finished checked out. And the doctor there, which is a droid, a medical droid, will greet you. It's like, hello, 411KM.
Greetings, medical droid 47KR. What are your findings of the crew?
Well, we put your entire crew through a significant medical battery and test, and everyone came out with flying colors, with a few exceptions that we'd like to go over with you now. Now, of course, as captain of the ship, you are entitled to full medical disclosure of all your crew members' medical history, and we will disclose it now.
Excellent. Please disclose.
Very good. Flying colors to Sicarius. He's a little underfed. Might want to get that coat checked out. It needs more shampooing. The clone is functioning at full operational parameters as a Republic asset. No worries there.
Good. Although
Although what?
My heart.
Oh yes, and the droid replacement for their heart is functioning at full operating parameters. We tuned it up.
You had to get your heart replaced?
Yeah, they show you the hologram and everything.
Oh, okay.
They even show you the naked pictures in the hologram where like his shirt's off and there's like clearly a droid cap over his chest cavity where his heart is.
That was just an aside to Nicole, but okay, keep going.
Yeah, they just bring it up. They're like, yeah, we even tuned up their heart. The Jedi Zevin is fine. You know, they cleaned up those wounds. No larva found. Shining Peak is fine. The Necromonger, the 19-year-old Krell. It's like we shampooed, defleed, dewormed. No, he is operating at peak performance for an adolescent human. If you want, though, we could neuter him. I'm sure I could convince my ethic computer to allow it. It usually takes the edge off when they get aggressive.
That's unnecessary unless we absolutely have to. Thank you, though.
Understood. So the last three people on the crew member list is the two other Jedi and the Republican super soldier. We'll talk about the two Jedi first. They bring up like scans of both of them. They have a history of severe injuries, trauma, damage to their bodies. Most of it's repaired or recovered. We fixed and reset any broken bones. The human is fine. We released them. The Gungan is a bit peculiar.
What is peculiar about the Gungan?
They bring up a hologram of Rudwar in the back to tank, and they start to show you his skin. So signs of scar tissue, damage, breaks, there's branding we were able to kind of take a bit of the edge off of and reset because they got infections. But it's these skin patterns here. And Rudwar's entire body, when you look at him naked, is covered in these... They look like surgical marks. They look like someone cut with a scalpel and then put sutures on either side. And they cover his entire body. And so this would imply that there was some sort of significant biopsying going on. But these aren't scars. They're more like molting patterns or near human freckles. They're skin patterning.
Okay, is it something to be concerned about?
We don't know. According to the Jedi, their skins always sort of looked like this, but these patterns are coming in more vividly as they get older. But look, and they'll show some of the skid marks. Some of the skid marks clearly have actual zigzags that look like it was done by a machine, not just a naturally forming thing. There's right angles in it. And as the droid tells you, nature does not draw in straight lines.
That is very true. That's very interesting.
Nicole is going to start posting pictures of bismuth, the gemstone that comes in exclusively right angles, but...
I was on my way.
Right.
Also, the Gungan is pregnant. Not sure what's up with that.
Right? And then they move on to the last Republican. We were unable to perform a full traditional medical biopsy as when we immersed the subject in our medical Bacta tanks, it had an allergic reaction and curdled the tank. To be clear, the Republican did not have the allergic reaction. The Bacta did to him. And they cut to a archival footage of them with the tank opened, and there's a cylinder of frozen hard Bacta on its side, and they're cutting into it with a saw, and you see the Republican frozen in there.
That is quite unfortunate.
We are, from what we can tell, this super soldier started as baseline near human. We are not quite sure what's happened since. And they show you a battery of tests they've done where they're poking him with needles, or they're having response reactions and sometimes a different limb moves, or they start bringing up tested him where they put a bar with weights on it on his chest and they just hold it there while he's naked, and the bar slowly starts to sink through him over time lapse until it eventually comes out the other side through his bones.
It seems he's not completely human anymore.
We did radiation-based spectrographic sound sampling and found the following. One, his skeletal structure does not contain any bones. Now, this technology we use was derived from the Given people. The Given people, for 1,000 generations, have been the foremost expert on skeletal structures and specifically high-frequency medical technology due to their mathematic nature. So when we say this crew member of yours does not have bones, we mean that they don't have bones. This is not a mistake. And they start showing you like x-rays of his bones. And like one, they look like they're coralized. Like there's like creeping like valves on them and like sharp bits and like little like holes all around that looks like it's a piece of underwater sea coral. And two, his bones are broken up in weird ways. Like the wrist might have a segment on it that's just separate from the rest. The elbow might be just like the elbow, but has like a crab bivalve like muscle system to like pinch it closed like an elbow works. The fingers are all like asymmetrical and stuff underneath. But like there's little cilia and like plant growth that holds them all together and makes them work in a colony. Now, these images may be shocking to you, but but I remind you, we would not traditionally operate on a conscious patient that's unsedated, as it is a doctor's sacred mission to do everything in his power to avoid losing his job. This crew member, though, doesn't seem to have a pain center or a pain response. And they cut to like an x-ray of his brain, and there's nothing there. There's droid parts, and there's liquid, and there's organs, but there's not like a brain.
Fascinating.
They then show you a video where they're talking to him, and he's talking back and answering questions about you guys. And as they do, doctor walks over and like opens up one of those ports where goo leaks out that's behind his ear and puts what looks like a tiny medical whisk in, and you can see the whisk going on the x-ray. And as he's answering questions, they run the whisk and scramble up whatever in there and slowly pull it out. And he still just answers like a normal person.
Explains why he's a Republican.
Different definition.
Right?
I'll see myself out.
Right. So we're not quite sure how this crew member of yours operates. There's clearly two distinct intelligences at play here. There's the face, and of course there's the arm. When we had our psychologist speak to him, as I'm sure you've noticed, the arm seems to be independent, and he seems to be oblivious to it, like it's a phantom limb he can't seem to comprehend or imagine. He knows that there's technology capping his limb stub, but the linguistical connectors that allow him to identify the technology as an arm do not seem to connect at all.
I have noticed that the few times I've spoken to him as well.
Furthermore, the arm itself, we have been unable to communicate with it. It seems to understand language and a variety of individual languages and follow orders and complex instructions, but it can't communicate even in binary, in yes or no.
Interesting, such as taps or sign language?
Nothing. We weren't able to get anything out of it in the form of outwards facing communication.
Interesting.
Although we did discover something fascinating when trying to figure out if we could anesthetize the patient. And it cuts to them like injecting him with something, and he just keeps talking, and eventually he passes out and goes limp standing. But he's still standing, and they start to like shove him a bit, and he'll back up, and they'll drag him, and he'll walk forward. And like if they push him long enough, he'll just start walking in one direction on his own. And then the arm started to lift up and starts to grab him by the collar and like force itself to drag his body in one direction. Like he keeps his equilibrium and balance even while obliviated.
Fascinating. It seems like multiple neural networks are at play here.
The closest we've been able to identify is a type of jellyfish that lives on Camino. That would be the closest we could draw a parallel to.
I suppose I could see that. If perhaps somehow the systems were injected and interfaced with a human so that its body was like a jellyfish, that would explain how it stays upright and moving while still being goo.
Isn't that what KOTOR or whatever it is?
It's Kolto. It's Kolto is bacteria grown from a large sentient fish Cthulhu god. Like it's harvested from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it doesn't come from Camino. It comes from wherever Kolto comes from. But like that's the closest cousin. It's the closest cousin they could find in this large galaxy. Yeah, they let the Republican go a while ago. He's been wandering about, but there's the information you have about your crew. Everyone's doing great and is defleed and dewormed.
Excellent. The poor Gungan seems to have a lot more going on than even he realizes, and the Republican is a jellyfish. Good to know.
A jellyfish that murders.
A murderous jellyfish.
Don't all jellyfish murder?
No, some of them just float in the ocean and eat.
I mean, what do they
all
eat?
Murderous.
Plankton, sunlight. Some of them are just plants too.
Yeah, if they just eat sunlight, I guess you can't say anything about that.
Right. So, yeah, if you want to share any of this confidential medical info, it's your right because you're captain.
Well, I give anyone access to it if they want to. But none of it seems like pressing info I need to have a ship meeting about.
Right. So, yeah, do with that what you will.
Okay.
That's your scene, your downtime. You get you're the captain, so you get all the responsibility.
All right.
So we will cut to the clone, Dreadnought.
Hello.
So you have over the weeks they were prepping something that they told you they had to wait on, but they want to reward you all with like a gift. So the Prime Minister, who remembers the Prime Minister's name, by the way?
Her name is Quinn. Or
Quail. Not Quinn from Final Space, which is good. So yeah, Prime Minister Quail invites you to a estate on Lasat to get a reward they want to give to you to show how grateful the people of Lasat are to the clone people and to the Republic.
That's awesome. So last session, you said something about us all getting a bunch of like mating contracts and shit.
Yeah, people were throwing themselves at you.
Do I have one from her?
Maybe. You got anything?
How about I use the fucking precious silk that I totally still have to get a really sweet silk outfit that I'll wear there?
That'll do it. Yeah, you totally do. She's down to bang.
Ooh, Dread stepping out.
She's definitely down to spend some time with a Republic battle-bred tank trooper.
Awesome.
The best of the best. Yeah, all right, done. You seal that deal. So she invites you to the estate. It is large, it is garish, it like has statues out front, it's holding up pillars and stuff. Vaguely empty, like Lasat, like government troops are walking on through it, and it looks like it's being emptied. Like people are hauling stuff into trucks to be taken out. And yeah, the Prime Minister's there. She's in her Prime Minister like casual wear, where it's like not quite a suit, but you know, it looks a little more business casual. And you can see she has a new droid appendage installed in her eye that she had cut out when she killed that dude.
Nice.
And yeah, she welcomes you. It's like, come in. So we have something very special for you, Dreadnought. I think you'll enjoy the cultural significance of it. This estate used to belong to a art collector and a collector of relics here on Lasat. Unfortunately, everything's being repossessed by the Lasat government because we found out that they were necromonger collaborators. You then hear some blaster bolts fire off in the background behind a closed room, and we've recently taken care of it. So a lot of these cultural relics are being returned to their proper people or being held by Lasat till we can get in contact with the Republic to give them back, of course. And we found something in their collection that is, we think we should give to you because it belongs to your people.
Oh, really?
Come with me. She brings you into a room. The room is full of weapons that are being taken down. And like, it's a large gladiator arena looking room with things on display on plinths, you know. And in the middle is a cross between a bull and like a lion droid made of like shining Beskar steel with like rending claws and like a Cylon eye system and like heavy armor plating and like latches to like hang onto it and use it as shields and cover. It's bigger than maybe 5 or 6 men. And it's like, do you know what this is?
Would I?
No.
Okay.
No one would.
Well, it's awesome, I can tell you that.
This droid has been taxidermied. It's stuffed. But what it used to be is the personal mount of the Mandalorians of the Old Republic. This is a mythosaur. They're riding mounts.
Oh.
They would drop into battle on the back of these and use it as a shield from atmospheric re-entry and crash into their enemies and hunt them down for sport.
Very nice.
This creature is a personal armored tank of the old Mandalorians. And I'm sure you can understand the appreciation that you yourself are an armored Mandalorian trooper Like Jango Fett, your progenitor was a famous foundling. This is your inheritance, right?
Hell yeah.
So we want to give you this. You can do whatever you want with it. All the parts are good. It's old Mandalorian war technology and droid programming still left inside. You'll have to empty out the wheat seeds because the old Mandalorians would stuff them with wheat to preserve them so they wouldn't rot over time. But it's all yours.
I thank you very much. This is going to be an enjoyable project.
I thought you'd get an appreciation for the hands-on aspect of this. You're very good with your hands. And she claps her hands, and a servant comes in with some wine. Why don't we retire to the viewing gallery?
Yes, let's.
We're going to be hearing the family. She just mentions we're going to be hearing the family begging for their lives next.
Oh, I don't want that.
No, it's fine. They're Nazis. They're going to be begging for reduced sentences to the governor. So she can show you how powerful she really is. And scene. You can build a bond with her. And I'm assuming there's going to be a montage of you, because we kind of discussed the droid part. You're going to rip this thing apart and install it inside of your mech trooper, so it has like the killing claws and like the Cylon eye.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it becomes like droid based basically. Like you put a brain inside, and it's the kind of old fossilized brain of the mythosaur. So now your ship runs on now your mech runs on Mandalorian war coding and talks to you and has responses. It's not fully droided because it's fairly old, but it's close enough. And yeah, there we go. That's how you get your fellowship super item, the necromantic melee doom sword. All right, so then we'll move to Zevin.
Oh.
Zevin, you have some free time to hang out with Rudwar and Tora. They just got back from the hospital recently and have decided to go have a shower individually to get the goo off of them from Bacta, because Bacta goos are like, you gotta wash that shit off. And then they're just hanging around the ship.
Yeah, I believe I'll go see what's up with them.
All right. Tora's working on part of the ship, like pulling parts out of it and replacing it, and Rudwar is laying down in a spider silk hammock that they're just showing up all over this ship. Like there's webbing all over, and if you pull it down, it forms a hammock fairly easily. So he's just lying in the hammock with a lyre, playing a tuneless song on it while Tora works, and they just kind of enjoying each other's company.
How does the day find you?
Tora turns, not good. The wiring on this ship is a nightmare.
Well, it's necromonger work. What's to be expected?
The worst part is this was a sorry.
No, go on.
The worst part is this was a decent ship once. It's a stable. It's a Corellian like escort vessel. It has solid foundations to it. It's just it's been neglected and abused for so long.
Much like this entire sector.
She nods. Rudwar makes a sound.
Well, we'll see it to rights again. But I fear things here are going to become more difficult before they become easier.
Fair enough. Things seem to be escalating all the time, even though we've been here for so long. I've never seen reactions like this from the necromongers. They're getting faster, more active. The way they're moving, the fleet's coordination's picking up. They're reacting to things that are happening. They would have never attacked Lasat Prime a few years ago. That would have been a lost siege.
And it was a near thing as it was.
Something's changing. Something's different.
I spoke with the Harch on our crew. I believe he may have a trace of sensitivity to him.
Rudwar kind of rubs his chin a bit. It's possible. But I find with things that happen in this sector, there's usually a bit more of a sensitivity to everyone. It's almost as if there's tides to the sector, a push and a pull that washes events over and confuses present and past. Have you ever had a vision of the future?
I had a vision during our last mission.
You'll find that many people in the Strait have similar experiences. It started in myth maybe a few hundred years ago, but in the last decade, since the Necromongers have taken over, the phenomena has spread from not being myth to merely being a matter of course. Maybe every person you talk to might know a neighbor or an uncle or an old family member that had a vision in their life at this point. It's fascinating to chart.
A vergence in the force forming in the Straits of Messina?
Some sort of inertia is at play.
I wish we could get in touch with the council.
We might be on our own out here when it comes to the Jedi Council, but we do have allies in this system. We just have to find time to reach out to them or make the trek.
Allies?
When I spent some time in prison, I met a albino Wookiee, white fur, horns, very different. And he told me of a people that live on the ice world of Hoth. They worship these sort of ancestor spirits that were said to be able to see the future, anticipate things before they came, spread a sort of peace and stability through the region with only their minds. It tracks to a force cult, but I was never able to really make contact with them, so to speak.
That may very well be searching out perhaps an old degenerated Jedi relic, or perhaps one of the far-seated cults that never joined with the Order.
It could be. I also have heard rumors of a dead world. Not Korriban, I'm not going back there. But in the Sisters, in orbit, there was a planet that's long since been gone. It's said that it's still there, being dragged off by them, eaten bit by bit. And inside that world were a order of wandering knights errant, people who would go and make other people better at the sacrifice of themselves. Timeless, wise, even balanced, and kind. And there's traditions in the cultures of every world here that when a wise traveler comes to you, you're supposed to give them hospitality, but also you're supposed to bring all issues you could not resolve amongst yourselves to them, and they would decide and lay down their wisdom. I'm sure if you've been wearing your lightsaber on your belt, you've noticed at least a few people coming to you with questions like that unprompted.
I have.
He nods. You get used to it. They'll approach you on the street. They don't see anything wrong with it. It's baked into their culture. Every culture here, actually.
That's not a unique feature of this sector. It's used to be much more widespread when the Order was less centralized in past centuries.
He nods he's like, yeah, you're getting it, right? It's like, so what would cause that tradition to be focused and less diluted here, if not for there to be a force tradition like ours here somewhere that up until recently was operating?
Or perhaps even an offshoot of the Order? Jedi
I've seen it
stranded in the area?
I've seen it in bas reliefs and archaeological digs ever since I started investigating this planet. There's iconography of warriors with weapons of light marching on through, saving the day from evil.
If that dead planet and the temples upon it are still out there, we might be able to find replacements for your lightsabers there.
Oh, he kind of chuckles. Oh, right. Well, we don't really... Having the lightsaber has mostly been a burden than a blessing, because it's very easy to spot us when we have them out, but we just haven't really had the time to replace them. Tora kind of nods too, though they look at each other. We do have a plan, though, if you want to see it.
Certainly.
They get up, and they're like, come on with us. And they go into Rudoir's room, and from under his bed, he pulls out a giant, cube. Like it's a big fucking cube. It's covered in machine scaffolding. It has some light panels, some not, and it's full of bare wiring. And you recognize this. This is a holocron scaffold. It's like something that Jedi that become archivists start to build to like get used to building holocrons so they can eventually program and embed personalities into them.
Mm-hmm.
So this was something I was building back when I was a Padawan, and I haven't been that successful with. I've only been able to put a few Jedi into it, and the subjects are very limited. He cycles through, you see Count Dooku, and then you see Asajj Ventress when she was a Jedi, and then it cuts to Anakin Skywalker. It's like, this is the one. Hello, Master Skywalker. Ah, hello there, young Jedi. What can I do for you today? It's me, Anakin Skywalker, General of the Republic. And like he gestures to you. Ask him about your lightsaber.
Mine?
Yeah, ask him if you need a new lightsaber. Ask him.
General Skywalker, I could use your advice in locating a new lightsaber.
Ah, lost your lightsaber. All right, look. Now, first of all, your master's going to say, this weapon's your life. Don't lose it. And they're going to probably give you a free pass the first, he kind of stumbles from it, 5 times you lose it. But after that, they're going to start asking questions. Questions you're probably not going to want to answer. So, if you end up losing your lightsaber and you don't want to get in trouble for it, I recommend replacing it before it becomes a problem. They'll notice it's new, but it's always better to beg permission than it's always better to ask forgiveness than beg for permission anyway. So, first thing I need to know is, where are you situated right now?
Within the Strait of Messina.
Okay, but like more locally.
On, Jesus Christ, I'm blanking on the name of the planet we're on.
Are you on a ship? He's going to ask. Are you on a spaceship?
We are.
Okay, perfect. All right. Does your ship have a hyperdrive?
It does.
What planet manufactured it? Corellia.
It's a Corellian ship.
And how many people do you think it seats? Do you just give the number? You can just give the number.
Yeah, I'll just give the number.
Okay, you're looking at a Corellian escort. It was probably built circa... He gives a number. So the hyperdrive probably runs on refined coaxium. All right, here's what you got to do. Grab the following ingredients and holograms of them start appearing. And what I need you to do is go and grab some biomatter and a little bit of coaxium runoff from the hyperdrive. And I'm going to walk you through cooking your own force crystal. And he like speeds up a bit and goes through various steps. And at the end, he's like, now, you got to make sure that the fractal lines in the crystal line up just right, or the color's going to be red. And now, I don't have a problem with it being red, but your master's going to side-eye you, okay? So make sure it comes out blue or green at least. And Rudwire turns to you. It's like, we know how. I just haven't had the time to do it.
Curious.
That was one of 3 things General Skywalker managed to imprint on my holocron before I had to leave. Another one's on how to... He likes to talk about how to adapt to having a droid prosthetic, and also the best things to say when you kill someone to make the person you're rescuing see you as a dashing hero, because appearance is a lot of things for Jedi.
Not quite the man I would have expected, given his reputation.
The Skywalker speaks up. Remember, if you're on a clock tower and you're pushing someone over, say, time's up, and don't even watch him fall.
Fucking Lord.
Zevin is going to desperately hope that Rudwar is even worse at holocron design than...
Do you want to see Count Dooku's section?
Perhaps later.
Because Count Dooku's section's great. Also, he has an imprint of Count Dooku's personality as a Jedi Master. That might be valuable to mine for information later.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on it, but it's not perfect, and I don't really have any other Jedi to imprint into it.
Well, if you ever need any help with it, my door's always open.
You know, I'd appreciate it. I'm always looking to add more to the body of knowledge of the Jedi Order. It was what I was specializing in before this became an extended mission. Do you have any questions for them? Any things you want to talk to them about or bond with them over?
I mean, I'm just gonna just spend some time hanging out. Maybe help Toro with the ship repairs.
If you wanted, you could suggest to them that you could all work together building them new lightsabers. They'd be on board with that. They just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, a whole montage plays out where they they're grabbing fuel from the engine and being very careful. They're salvaging parts of the ship to build into a kiln. All the engine bits they'll have to pull off to make into lightsaber casings and stuff, and grabbing spare parts from the various rooms and melting it down into the bits they need. At the end, yeah, they both have single beam green lightsabers.
Hells yes.
Ah, perfect. They carry they do the light up and flourish with them. You notice that Rudwar has a duelist flourish when he swings his lightsaber, and Tora just does the Form 1 overhand swing. Because,
Yeah, not much opportunity for the finer points of saber dueling out here, I suppose.
Yeah. Rudwar wields his lightsaber kind of like an asshole, like a duelist, and it's like, that's Count Dooku at play. He was famous for that nonsense. It's like, parry, thrust. Hey, you all bond. Form a bond with them.
Sweet.
And if there's nothing else, we will move on to Shining Peak.
Woo.
All right, Shining Peak. The Lasat security office on Nebula Draw calls you in for a murder investigation.
I didn't do it.
Do you go in?
Sure.
All right, the chief of security is there. He's like, oh, hello, Shining Peak. You're from the Republic force here sent to save us, right?
I guess, sure.
Perfect. That's exactly what we have written here. We need you to sign off on the transfer of an inmate from our custody to yours.
Oh, what's that with inmates?
They hit a button, and the Republican shows up on a screen in a cell. And it's like, we have your crewmate. He's committed a murder. And I see, Steph, that your mic's not working, so we're going to move through this, and then we'll end this part of the recording and loop you back in, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, so yesterday morning he was seen, and they show footage of him walking down the street, and then it cuts to a speeder pulling over, and two people get out. And they have in a cage a little tiny teddy bear animal, and he starts to his head, the droid arm taps him on the shoulder and makes him look, and he sees in that direction. He starts following them. He follows them all the way to a warehouse. They go inside the warehouse. There's other people there, and they're handing over your money for the teddy bear, and he walks in and starts shooting them and kills them all. When he kills them, eventually the police show up, and it's one of them had an emergency alert on them, so when they were assaulted, the authorities showed up and arrested him for the murder. It almost went to violence, but as long as we didn't let him take the creature away, it seemed to be fine.
Okay, so were they the bad guys? Were they the necromongers?
Well, they weren't necromongers, but we found that they were trying to engage in illegal exotic pet trading, which is a felony on this planet. And at least half of the parties involved were, animal traffickers. But the animal that they were trafficking, we're pretty sure is a sapient creature and an infant at that. So they were actually committing child trafficking. And quite frankly, we're glad they're dead.
Well, if you're glad they're dead, then why is he in custody?
Oh, we wanted one of you here so we could release them back into your custody.
Oh,
and the child.
Sure.
All right, they open a cell, and the cell rotates slowly with a gravity field, so it puts you off base, and the Rowan's just kind of sliding around, tripping on his own antifreeze blood, on the ceiling and the walls until they kind of turn it off and let him kind of walk out. They were able to get the teddy bear away after they kind of put him in the dryer for a bit, and they give you the teddy bear, which is a baby albino Ewok, and they give you the Republican. It's we're just going to release them back into your custody because, he killed child traffickers, and they were criminals, and you're Republic heroes, so why would we arrest him?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm sure you and your Jedi will get that child back where it needs to go, because that's how you work.
Well, we do have a ship, so I guess we'll have to return it to where it came from.
Yeah, exactly. This is the best job I could have possibly done. I gave the kid to Jedi. Psh, you'll deal with this.
So where did they come from, this thing? I'm not really that well-traveled.
I don't know. It's an exotic animal being trafficked. That's kind of your spiel.
Okay.
Hey, you'll figure it out. Thank you for your service.
Sure, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Come, little one.
The little Ewok you have is all like, yep, nope. Yeah, it's talking at you, it's babbling. The Republican's like, hey, can I have that? Can I see that?
Sure.
Takes it away from you and puts it on his shoulder. It's like, there you are, little guy.
There, that's much
It'll,
better.
like, slip off.
He's holding on pretty good.
It's gonna
He
be
got
all
reflexes.
wet. His fur is gonna get all wet.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, what do you want to say or do to him?
Well, we did want to have some interaction with the Republican and, do the hand thing, I guess.
Sure, let's pause here because several people are having recording issues because God fucking damn it. So we're going to stop here and we'll move on to that after we come back. All right, we're back after fighting with Zencastr a bunch. So, as I was saying, I'm just going to mute that mic. As I was saying, you're given the baby and the Republican, and you're allowed to take them away because the law does not want to stop you because all your friend really did was kill child traffickers, and they had it coming.
Well, I'm glad they believe we won't eat it.
Yep. So, yeah, you guys return to the ship. Everyone sees that the Republican has brought a tiny albino teddy bear infant with it to the ship.
Aw, hey, little buddy. Does
Yub
your species bud that quickly?
Yub nub.
I asked that to Shining Peak, by the way.
Doesn't look anything like me. Saying as a blue dog to a white bear.
Well,
I believe that.
you know,
I believe
maybe-
that was your kid.
Yeah, maybe when you're young or small, they have lots of fur to keep themselves warm. Maybe you live in an Arctic climate.
Well, we live in the mountains. And yeah, that's not mine. It's from somewhere else.
Well, put it back. It ain't yours.
Well, where
It doesn't
was,
belong to you.
well, it does now because we apparently, killed some child traffickers.
Oh, good on us. Who? What?
we?
Well, the Republican.
Oh, well, good on him. Good job. I'll give him a thumbs up.
He gives you a thumbs up too, and so does his other hand.
2 thumbs up. Perfect.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I saw they were trafficking that kid, and the kid was like, kill them all and save me, get them. And I just couldn't help it, but I decided to save them.
That is a smart thing to say from a baby.
He just nods.
Is
Is that my baby?
It is now. I punch him in the shoulder.
Well, where'd it come from?
I don't know. Did it come from one of you? Did we do something fun?
No, I meant I'm asking Shining Peak.
Child traffickers from the street.
Like they don't have.
In the cage.
Okay, well, what species is this? What does anyone know? I'll look at the Jedi because they're
I'll run a quick computer scan to see what species it is.
It doesn't match any records.
It is an unknown child.
It really seems to like the Republican.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess if we find its parents, we'll give it back, and if we don't, I guess this is our kid now.
It's using the blue liquid he leaks to draw on the table. It looks like he's making funny drawings. For any of you in the know, he's drawing a right-angled triangle, and on one side he draws a triangle next to it, and on another side he draws a square, and then on the hypotenuse he draws a pentagon.
Uh-oh.
Which, for those of you in the know, that is the universal symbol that parents teach their children in Star Wars to let other aliens know that they're a sentient creature, not an animal. It's a Pythagoras' theorem, because 3 + 4 = 5, but you do it in shapes.
We're not adopting a child. Found it.
I ain't so
We have
sure
to
it is
give
a
it
child
back to
anymore,
its
boss.
parents.
Yup nub. It's jumping. Yup nub.
Oh,
Wait,
Maybe they're just small. It knows Dad. It knows the whole math thing.
the Republican said he could talk to it, or it talked to him. Is it saying anything to you now?
Save us? I don't know. He told me to save everyone one day. I think you told me to save everyone one day, actually, Sicarius. So, maybe you and the baby can talk.
You know what, guys? I think I can help this. I can just rekit R2 here. I have some language processing, like programming and stuff, everything. So just give me a minute.
Wait. Whoa. What, you're going to do what to me?
Make you be able to translate whatever this thing is saying.
I'm a killer, not a nanny.
Well, today you can be both.
Aw, lame.
But no killing the kid, obviously.
I'm not a protocol droid.
Lame. Okay. So after a bit of surgery, he picks up like a little training blaster and tries to shoot one of you guys, and can only shoot around you because his aim's that bad. All right, the protocol software is working.
All right, little buddy. So what's do you have anything to say to us? Do you know where you are supposed to live? Where your parents are?
Okay, the droids are like, yub nub. The little baby talks back, and he talks to you. Okay, he says that you need to save his brothers, and he's pointing at that guy, the blue guy, the Republican. And he keeps saying, hero, save us.
Okay, well, do we know where his brothers are?
Strangers came from the sky in ships they didn't recognize and collected their children and some of their cultural artifacts and took off. So the village elder woke up their hero from his sarcophagus and set him to save us.
Well, that's interesting, and tells us that maybe they know more about the Republican that we'd like to know. Well, okay, who are these child traffickers? We can just investigate them. We can find out where their business dealings are. Wait, Kim, you're a business person? I was going to say woman, and I was like, is that...
Business droid?
Yeah, right? you know business. Maybe you can help track down their shipping records or whatever and figure out where the kid came from.
I will make some inquiries.
It would be...
Or even Sicarius. I mean, you have your shady dealings.
It would be very easy to track these people down if you had any identifying info about them.
Their bodies?
Yeah.
Well, we do have the identifying, blaster marks on their heads.
Right? We know, I'm sure the news is reporting or whatever that these people were just killed.
Yeah, we can.
Republic heroes save destroy child trafficking ring found under pizza joint.
Yeah, so there should be a morgue full of bodies to examine if we feel like doing that somewhere in the city.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna, as this is Peter's scene, Peter, I'm just gonna point out this would be an excellent time for you to use the mystical ways of the Force to try and see what the Republicans saw to get you identifying info.
That doesn't seem like one of my moves, but sure.
You have lantern light.
Yeah.
Lantern light does that shit. It shows you the way. That's literally in the text of the mechanic.
For what it's worth, I believe the lantern light is actually supposed to get activated by the framework most of the time.
Yeah, illuminating stuff. That's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's this dog. Blue dog.
Illuminating information.
Fuck.
Fine,
Why are you fighting me on this?
So I guess his arm starts glowing, whatever in my vision, and I go like, poke.
Now, for repetition's sake, Holden, do you want Zevin to also maybe just kind of at the same time put his arm on the Republican to share the vision, so he doesn't have to retell you it later?
Sure.
Okay, this is what you two see when you touch the Republican at this point. First of all, imagine you're seeing the whole world through a very skewed fisheye lens. And then imagine your vision is cut up along weird, sketchy segments that aren't perfect squares, but are more like gerrymandered voting districts. So it's a weird puzzle, and it's all jumbled up. Like, you're seeing one scene, but it's playing out in a scatter. Some are playing at different speeds. Some aren't in color. Some are playing in reverse, and it's not ordered right, so it's very hard to make anything out. It takes you some time to kind of really focus in, but eventually the parts rearrange themselves to form one complete whole, and you are in space. You're looking through a porthole, and there's a machine arm slammed into a piece of metal in front of you that when you look at it, the machine arm almost vanishes like it's not there. And you can hear like breathing, but it sounds like someone drowning as you're looking through this porthole that has like liquid behind it, and you're looking out into space. but you're being bombarded with strobe lights over and over again as you are naked in a spacesuit outside a ship that is going through hyperspace, holding on by a droid arm that you can't quite see.
Jesus.
The hyperspace ends, and everything is kind of in weird, spacey slow motion as you remember instinctively that the Republican sees things faster. And he's lifted up by gravity and looks to his other arm, which reaches forward and grabs onto like a handhold on the ship. When he wasn't looking at the droid arm, it's pulled out a gun and it's shot a astromech droid on this fighter, and it's floating away before you look over and like crawl to the cockpit where there's a guy looking inside, looking up at you, a human, and he's like screaming, "No, no, 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 no," and you can hear him because you can hear sound in space. And he hits a button, and like armored shielding goes over the cockpit as you start punching the glass to try to break it open while he's flying. You crawl back along the ship to where the astromech was, pull out half of its body where the scomp link is plugged in, because R2 units have that little scomp link that goes into a ship. And you start ramming that in and turning it like you're cracking a safe as eventually the engines turn on and off, some of the weapons come up and go down. And then that shielding, it starts to open, but then it closes. But then you hear a beeping sound come from inside the cockpit as the chair starts getting small little lights lighting up under it as the ejector seat goes off, but the shell doesn't come off. So there's an explosion in the cockpit, then it blows open, and a dead frozen body floats out.
I love this guy. So
the Republican looks up through his porthole as this fighter is flanking an escort vessel, which is currently over Commercia Prime right now. Other ships are flying by, and one of them, like you can see the pilot see that, and his eyes are open, and he's turning around for a strafing run. The Republican, with his good arm, adjusts that R2 scomp link, and the ship starts to pull up. He smashes the droid arm in, pulls a bunch of cables out, hands the cables to his good arm, gets on either side of the opening in the R2 unit like he's riding a horse, basically, and uses the cables as the saddle reins and starts pulling the ship up to the escort vessel. There's a series of cuts as he smashes through the ray shield and crashes into the cargo bay that's still open, and starts immediately getting up from his injuries, sliding across the floor in his goo, and shooting and killing pirates. A firefight plays out when eventually the back of the ship jettisons off of the rest of it because they just cut the cargo hold and the front starts flying away. The cargo hold starts tumbling and starts self-destructing. He jumps out to a nearby fighter and grabs onto it and starts smashing the cockpit and getting the guy out of there, and the guy does just decompress out before he loses his grip on it and starts falling, and your perspective is like in Gravity where it's just his porthole tumbling, getting red hot and falling into space before he hits the planet. The next scene's like a bunch of weird quick cuts where he's looking to his side and he sees a Lasat child and a Lasat teenager being harassed by 3 necromongers, and they're walking up to the crater he's in. The necromongers are like, "Yeah, you stay here and don't make trouble. We'll deal with you." And like one of them walks up and is like, "This guy's alive, I think. Let's see what's on him." And they start pulling him out because his hand's just outstretched. And as he's looking at the Lasat child, it's almost like it's being crayoned over in his mind to look like the small, tiny albino Ewok kid. And it just says, without its mouth moving, "Kill them. You've got to kill them all. Kill them all." And when he looks back, he's already grabbed a bit of ship debris from the ground and stabs that first necromonger in the stomach, grabs up and breaks his neck, throws him on the ground, gets up with a gun drawn, shoots the other one. And the teenager screams, "Look out." He looks behind him. His droid arm's already grabbed the third necromonger and has broken its neck and dropped him. And he just approaches the kids and stares at them. They're a little afraid, but eventually they like thank him, ask him his name. He responds with their name when they tell him their name. They eventually see him as funny because this guy's a funny, weird hero dude. And they start to go like, "We're going to go home." And he's like, "Okay." And they walk away, and then he starts following them, and they stop and turn around. It's like, "We're going to go home." And he's like, "Okay." And they start to walk away, and he starts following them, and eventually just let him bring him home. A lot of quick scenes cuts where he's brought home. Other Lasat are talking to him. People are treating him like a hero, but it's awkward. And whenever he looks over at like a kid or someone who's not quite looking at him, he hears someone say, "You have to kill them. You have to kill them all. You have to save us." And he looks over his shoulder, and necromongers have shown up asking for tribute, and they brought a tank. Quick scene of events plays out, and that tank has been destroyed, and those necromongers are dead. But there was a brief image where the tank round hits him, and he goes unconscious for a while, then gets up and starts killing necromongers after a few heartbeats. after being hit by a tank round. And for the rest of your vision, you just get these two scenes where he is interacting with people and it's awkward, but they seem to like him, or he's doing unbelievable, unrestrained violence to the necromongers, right up until he's looking at a medical droid going over to a body through a sniper rifle and it blows up, and then he starts taking pot shots at some people by an armored troop carrier before a lightsaber comes out, and a radio that's on the ground says, you got to go to them. They're heroes like you. You got to go to them. You got to go to them. Over and over again until he gets up and walks over to you. And that's where the vision ends.
He's Doom Guy. We recruited Doom Guy.
Hey, when you guys come out of your vision, the Republican basically slowly sank to the floor and is just lying there, like no one's puppeting him.
Well, that sure was something.
So what'd you guys see? And you relay it, presumably.
Now, truly incredible amount of violence.
Now, the key points to take away from here is, one, he seems to see vulnerable people as that Ewok child, and two, you got a full description of the ship and the fleet it was with, which means you have an identification chain code you can use to track these people down.
Nice.
All right. I will plug that into the computer and start tracking it.
It's going to take you to Commercia Prime.
Oh, Lord.
Of course it is.
Now, that, of course, is not its true name. The true name of the planet is Intergalactic Banking Clan Presents Commercia Prime. You will specifically want to be going to Luxuria, the entertainment sector, and universal neutral ground in the sector, as long as the Separatists have power here.
I relate that to them, to everyone.
Yeah. But, the Ewok, or he's not an Ewok, they call themselves the Furlings. The Furling child, who's not a child, he's 13 in Furling years, basically. He's just small, guys. Will be like, look, I have other brothers and sisters that were taken with me. I know them. You got to help me get them. If you help me get them, we'll help you. Our people can help you. We know about like great destinies and the world. And there was a prophecy that our hero would come back with us with an army of dragons. All right, you're them clearly.
Don't worry, kid. We're definitely going to help you out.
He's like, fuck yeah.
So will they take on this planet or somewhere else?
What?
Are they on this planet or somewhere else?
Commercia Prime. That's where you guys are going for the second part of this session.
Yeah, I'll fire up the engines.
Cool. Were we able to figure out what planet this guy hails from in the first place?
The description the Furling gives you would indicate, if you know anything about the sector, it's Hoth. But his description of it's weirder than what you're used to. Instead of describing like cold Arctic hellscapes, which he does describe as like the outside of his tribe, he describes a series of calm, comfortable, safe tunnels surrounded by like hot springs and heat vents and beautiful, like lush, kind of almost jungly biomes where his people live in peace and harmony with nature. So, a little tricky to figure out. And finally, we will have the last scene of a little downtime as you guys spool up the hyperdrive. You guys spool up the hyperdrive and warp into space, and the camera then pans down, having transitioned from open space to, I'm just going to mute that mic there, from the openness of space to a installation, some sort of facility hanging in the Lagrange point between the sisters. A ship is shown coming over the camera down into a docking bay, having to navigate between the two gravity wells. There's people in shadows inside this ship that you can't quite make out as like light traces across their faces and their various armors and helmets. And you can see in the back, holding a cane in his like outfit and with his cybernetics, is Admiral Trench just talking to himself, mumbling, as everyone inside kind of looks on and looks at each other, but they're indistinct. The ship lands, and we cut to the interior of this facility where on a dais, looking at like a 360 control system with various machinery in front of him, is the Lord Marshal, 13 feet tall and a death metal skeleton covered in black robes with a weird smearing, shadowy tracer effect that goes after him wherever he moves, wherever he acts. There's almost like a dreamlike haze going on. The doors open, and Killer Croc, flanked by whatever Mike and Bob are currently possessing, come on in, as Croc is clearly agitated, being like, this wasn't part of the deal. We don't need help. We don't need outsiders. You're going to screw this up for all of us. You're going to... And then he starts choking and can't talk as the Lord Marshal's put a hand up and starts slowly flexing it into a fist. Croc's scales and meat start to fall off, not like in a gory, disgusting way, in the way that old leather and old puppet material will rot. Like if you ever see like the Skeksis or what happened to Hoggle from the Labyrinth, the way latex eventually just falls apart and crumbles over time. He starts coughing and coughing up black fluid, and that starts happening to him. Bob and Mike start laughing, and they grab either side of his arms and start pulling him away as he can't hold himself up anymore, so he's collapsing in on himself. And he's like, no, you can't do this. We had a deal. I get another chance. I'm sorry. I get another chance. And they drag him out of sight as Admiral Trench walks in through the same door they're dragging him out of and just side glances that and looks forward. Trench walks up. So we're here, and do you have any further direction? Do you want to sign off on the plan? The Lord Marshal puts the hand down and makes a kind of go away gesture. And Trench is like, you don't want any of my input on this? You just want me to do this? And this will save everything, right? This will let me know what the Phantom Menace is, right? You'll clue me in. The Lord Marshal just taps on a screen, and a bunch of the images all around him changed images of Sicarius and some of you guys that they've been able to pick up. But the Sicarius one is the one that Trench is interested in. It's all right, we'll do it your way. My men, my contacts are in position. I can win you this war. The Republic and the Separatists and the Confederacy, they're not trying to fight a war, but we are. We can win it. And he saunters off through those doors with his cane, clicking behind him as he makes noises. And we transition away from the Lord Marshal as all his screens go back to various schematics and math and calculations he's doing.
I'm going to step away for 1 second.
Sure thing. Yeah. So, with that, we will now move to Commercia Prime, the second half of the session today. So, you come on into Commercia Prime. It is a city planet, just like Coruscant. It has, large towers, districts, generators, planetary-sized shields, shipyards, orbitals. People are coming and going all the time. And you all put in docking codes to sit down in Luxuria. Yeah, you're going to arrive on scene. There are 4 different places you'll have to go to find the other Furling children that have been kidnapped. With the information and contacts you have, you'll be able to kind of narrow them down. I have an order for them. Do you want to go in my order, or do you want to grab them at random?
Sure, that works.
I think in order's fine. I don't think there's any reason not to.
All right. So the first bit of contact you have is that there are exotic pet traders on this planet. You're able to kind of get in touch. You show them pictures of the one you have, and they're like, oh, yeah, we just sold a batch of them, not too long ago. They just got here, got cleared through customs. They've been moved around a lot because, if it's gone from collector to collector, no one's picked them up in the last year. But now, everyone kind of has bought on into it. It's their time. So the first one is currently being auctioned off at a rare pet auction.
Before we go on, one quick question. Well, 2 quick questions, actually.
Sure.
First, did we get a name out of our little... I can't believe it's not an Ewok guy?
Name for the Furling?
Yeah.
His name would be Sunrise.
Sunrise. Okay, and second is us agreeing to help save his people enough to form a bond with him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting the hang of this, finally.
Yeah, you just be nice to him. Just get him a bowl of food or something. It's all easy. So yeah, you've landed. There's an auction where a Furling is being currently auctioned off.
So, do we beat them up, or who runs this planet anyway?
Who runs Commercia Prime? The Intergalactic Banking Clan.
So, should we beat all of them up, guys? Are they the baddies?
Do you want to go to war with the Banking Clan?
I mean, not no.
Hey, whoa, what did I miss?
Okay, you are on Commercia Prime. You have landed in the city of Luxuria, and you have found that of the 4 babies you have to collect, one of them is right now being auctioned off in an exotic animal auction. And Peter's first statement was, should we fight them all?
Oh, God!
Guys, it's an auction.
No.
You can just use money to solve this. You're killing me.
But
Let's
then
hold
you're...
that back as a let's hold that back as a plan B.
Yeah, it depends how bad you guys think exotic pet trading is, because these people don't seem to know that it's a person.
I have a great deal of experience on Commercia, and the easiest way to deal with these people is with money.
But then you're just incentivizing them to do it more.
Yep. The necromonger kid's like, yeah, but don't we have like bigger fish to fry? There's always a bigger fish.
I mean, why not fry all the fishes?
Aren't you guys on like a... Okay, whatever. What do I know? I'm just the navigator. Thank you for not getting me neutered.
On that note, Sicarius is going to start climbing up onto the roof, because I'm sure him and Kim have done some shady dealings multiple times in the past on this planet.
I'm just going to... go for it. Go ahead.
Sorry. So Sicarius is going to climb up onto the ceiling, be very stealthy, and just get into position so he's ready to do anything if he needs to, while Kim does their thing, and he's just backup. Because, as I say, they've probably done this multiple times before.
I walk in the front door and join the auction.
Yeah. right?
Oh, you could probably
I just calmly walk in through the front door, say hello, greet the front doorman, get ushered to a seat with a little number stick.
I would like a furry child, please.
Yes, exactly.
On the auction block is one rare albino wonder bear, they're calling it. Knows tricks.
I hold up my sign.
There's also other stuff on the docket, like a clutch of rancor eggs, loth cats, whatever those little guys from Fallen Empire is, grebos. What are they called? Melties?
Boglings, you mean?
Boglings, yeah. Look at what a bogling is.
Oh my
you can
god.
buy those.
Boglings and lost cats are both so fucking cute.
Yeah, if you guys actually want to spend some of your precious resources at this auction to like buy some fun animal companion mascots, feel free. Okay, so the auction eventually, you could just write it in the background or whatever. If you have a cool animal from Star Wars you always wanted to own, this would be the opportunity to spend a resource to get it. Just throwing that out there. You don't have to take the screen for it.
Are there any animals that would call people Jedi scum, though? Or that derisive tone.
That gross animal Jabba keeps. That's like a rat lizard.
Oh God.
Yeah. They're selling a clutch of those.
Kowakian monkey lizard. Fuck me. Somehow I remember that. I've lost everything I ever learned in college statistics, but I remember fucking the species for the salacious crumb is called.
Right.
And that thing's name, because that's how my brain works.
Right. All right, but we get to the Wonder Bear auction. So it's starting bid at 1 precious item.
I might need to borrow precious items from you guys if I run out.
Yeah, I have some. Don't worry.
How many did I have to pay to get my nice clothes?
1. It's 1 use because it's useful.
I figured.
Okay, so 1 precious. Anyone? Any takers?
I'll throw it up to start since I have some at least use for it.
Okay, we got 1. Do we have 2? A guy puts up his hand for 2. Okay, we got 2. Do we got 3?
Hey, do we want to do Jedi stuff to make sure no one else bets?
No.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
We have 3 Jedi with us, just to have people not put up their hands.
Ooh, maybe the Jedi should
Tora looks at you guys, nods, and takes out that spider silk and turns it into a garrote and just kind of smiles and starts walking off.
Oh, goodness. No.
Wrong kind of Jedi stuff.
What if the Jedi went to the middle of the thing and talked to the whole crowd?
What the
He
hell
didn't
are
say
they
that their
teaching at the
whole
Jedi
lives are
Temple
bad.
these days?
What was okay? 2 different people said something funny, so I heard Peter's. What was that, Holden?
What the hell are they teaching at the Jedi Temple these days?
She's been surviving for 8 years here, dog. This is 8 years worth of survival instincts.
Talk sense of the crowd. Talk sense of the crowd.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Hey
Well,
guys,
I'll put
first
it my hand-
murder.
What was that, Nicole? Steph?
I'll put up my hand for 3.
That same guy puts up his hand for 4 and looks upset.
As I'm going to I'm going to start complaining out loud to the crowd about this. But clearly, this is. They think that this is what they want to do with their afternoon, but really, it's not.
You don't really want the Wonder Bear. You want the Loth Cat, not the Wonder Bear.
You don't really want to be here at all.
Yeah, you know what? Everyone gets up and just leaves. They're sick of this shit.
Hey, disperse back to your homes.
That's awesome. There's like, I'm
No
going
one's,
to rethink my life.
no one's feeling today, so many of these rich people will leave and then go to like the nearest smoke lounge to start smoking death sticks. Some of them will go gamble. Some of them will go and gamble. Whatever rich people do.
All right.
One guy remains. It's that dude who keeps bidding on it, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?" By the way, he is a Doug, like Sebulba's race. They're weird people who walk on their hands.
I would like to. Yeah, I remember these bitches. They walk on their hands. They have those gross hand feet.
He has a giant curled mustache like Captain Hook. And he's wearing like a mix between a pirate hat and a fez, and he has garish, multicolored pied clothing on, and he's just mad.
I would like to go up to him.
Oh, my lord, a clone! I haven't seen one of your kind in forever.
Well, I'm not on the docket today. Why do you want this thing so bad?
Because I have to have a show for my circus.
You're a circus guy.
I'm Prego of Prego's Traveling World of Wonder.
Well, congratulations. I'll send you a baby shower gift. So
he ignores your casual he ignores your casual racism and lets you continue.
I mean, hey, I commented that I'm not on the wild pet docket, so come on.
I'm just saying, he ignores the casual Republic racism about his foreigner name.
So, I don't remember where I was going with this because you distracted me by accusing me of racism.
A gift basket. Ooh, give me some impressions, so form a bond with him, therefore he stops being a problem, and just kidding.
Actually, that's a viable solution.
Look, I just need something for my circus, clone. I don't know why you're standing there silently judging me. Okay?
Well,
my other performers died, and I need to replace them.
How'd they die?
Pirates shot them.
Well, that sucks. I'm sorry, but why do you want this small child?
Because he'll be a great show when I go back to the pirates to do another show. He's so acrobatic and fun-looking.
Don't go back to the pirates. They're the ones that killed them in the first place.
Well, that's not fair. Then who's going to entertain the pirates?
Do y'all want to go beat up some pirates?
I mean, each and every day.
Right?
No, they're not here. They live on Florum. It's outside the system.
Perhaps it would be best if you simply passed custody of the child to us.
I haven't won it yet because you keep driving the price up.
Oh, that was revealed away. I'm mind tricking this guy. I'm tired.
No, that's
of it.
fine. That's fine, but he doesn't own it. He doesn't have the child.
Yes, but he has the high bid at the moment, and I don't feel like going to 5. So,
Clever.
So, yeah, let's see what I get out of that.
I mean, if he pays 4 precious and gets the thing, and then we convince him with Jedi Mind Trick to give it to us, we save a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what you should have done.
I got a 7.
Done with Watto. All right, what happens on a 7 then?
So many tabs.
Steal the way. They'll do it, but they'll do it.
Yep.
They'll do it, but they'll do it in the way they think that is best, or they'll only do it if you help them. And we reveal the way. You don't need to believe your suggestion. They won't even realize you were just telling them what to do. So you just tell them to give it to you.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we could give him. If we could help him out by giving him like some spiders.
Whoa!
We've got plenty.
I'll give him my spiders.
He just takes a few spiders from you. Well, all right. I could teach him to jump or knit, I guess. He closes the box, puts it in his pocket. All right, fine, whatever. I'll give you this one. But, thinking, I'll have to find a new show, though. All right. And then he leaves. The little bear's like, yub nub. Yub nub. He's standing on his head with his hands.
You're welcome, Bear. We rescued you from a life of slavery, which is technically not illegal here.
Is it not?
Not
like,
really.
I guess not. We're in separate space, right?
Separatists, it's not exactly illegal.
You know those hot cat people slavers from Clone Wars? They operate here. They have a slavers guild.
I have no... Oh, you mean like the big buff ones, right?
Yeah, the ones that all look like the captain from Treasure Planet and are uncomfortably hot. And then Kelsey Grammer marries her and has a kid with her? What? That's so beneath her.
When this is all over, I'm going to have to lead an armada back here. It's just...
Don't worry. In a few months-ish, the clones and the Empire will wash on through and destroy the banking clan. Don't worry, the Empire will repossess their land. They'll get what's coming to them. Okay, well, you got the next one. As you do, someone walks in, like someone who's leaving. It's like, you know what? I don't even want that bear. There's a better one at the wreck of the Edmond Fitzgerald. That one's fun. And they walk off.
Looks like we're going to the Edmond Fitzgerald. Let's figure out what that is.
Okay. You know what? This is a perfect time for you guys to tell me how you're going to gather information here. As a team, how would you find out about the Edmond Fitzgerald after someone name-dropped it?
Definitely Sicarius will be going into sending his spiders into any and all areas that people are talking and just kind of getting them to report back to him on anything they find.
I walk into the rich people's smoking and gambling lounge and start eavesdropping.
Okay. Do either of you indicate that that's what you're doing?
Yes.
I'm assuming communication's happening.
Okay,
yes,
because if not, I was just going to grab the dude by the scruff of his neck and force him to tell me what he's talking about.
You still could.
Cool. I'm going to then.
All right.
Okay. This guy is also a Doug. He was just here to, hang out and stuff. And you grab him by the neck and stop him. He's like, "Oh, clone."
Hey there. What's the wreck of the Edmond Fitzgerald?
It's the greatest bar on Luxuria.
Care to give me an address?
Sure, I was going to go there and drink. Do you want to come with? Are you propositioning me?
What's this dude look like?
Yes.
He looks okay.
Well, okay. I mean, he caught me off guard here, but... I mean, well, he's engaging in child trafficking.
They don't know that.
That is
Not
true.
this one.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, sure. You know what? Yeah, let's go grab a drink.
Okay, so
hey guys, we're doing the thing where we're saving the kids and stuff, but also I'm multitasking.
Okay, so this obviates the need for a roll because I didn't assume you do the obvious thing because of who you are as people. So you don't do that.
We're adventurers.
Zevon is going along with us, but he's sort of doing the Clint Eastwood face in the background.
Those big, strong feet of his.
Oh no!
Oh, we do this.
Oh no!
We actually weeded the episode like we said we would.
You had to bring feet into it. You managed, Evan. Good job.
This is a Quentin Tarantino episode. He directed this episode because he's still allowed to.
Oh my god.
Okay, scene swipe 2. And I'm presuming you do a bit of like research on this as well, like just ahead of time. So the Wreck of the Edmond Fitzgerald is a famous bar in Luxuria. It is the highest rated bar for the last 20 years in a row. The prices are half the price of every other bar on the planet. The drinks are confirmed not watered down and are actually stronger than most drinks. The hours are 24/7, and he accepts everyone in the bar and barely holds grudges and has a lot of seating, and it's on premium space. Everyone talks about the Edmond Fitzgerald.
Well, dang, sounds like a good place.
It's the most ridiculous bar on the planet. Everyone cannot get over how great it is. The owner is Arton Moth.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, is this, the bad boy again? Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, when you get there, it is a fancy 3-story bar. It's well taken care of. The furniture is sturdy, heirloom furniture. The drinks come in customized glasses that self-chill. There's fun in the air. He hires actual people, not droids, to work there. Everyone looks like they're having a great time. You don't see any people being abused or taken advantage of, or any of the serving staff being spit on. It looks like just a nice place to go. And yeah, in the center, so the bar's in the center, and there's staff in there, and there's screens overhead and stuff hanging off the walls. And in the center of the bar, on a pedestal, is a rather large cage made of what looks like Beskar that has skulls and serpents eating their own tail motifs on it. And in the middle, in a big fluffy kind of couch, is that little Furling baby, and it's lying on the couch drinking from a giant golden chalice and being fed grapes by a little trained parrot lizard.
Just curious, why are we saving this one?
Well, I'm actually now I'm gonna ask. So I'm gonna get R2. Can you come here for a sec?
What is it, clone? I don't want to see you, mate.
Ask it if it wants to
Clint
leave
Eastwood
or if
face
it
again.
just wants to stay here.
He looks around half disgusted. I'd rather stay to remind myself why I pulled the trigger. It's part of my programming to expose myself to things that increase my bloodlust.
My sensors register loathing. I choose to experience it.
It only makes me a more efficient droid, sir.
All right, but get on with it.
Get on with what? Shooting people? He starts to pull out a gun. Get on with what? Wink?
I was asking him to translate. I was asking him to ask the guy if he wants to stay here, if he wants to come with us back to his house.
Okay, he turns around with his gun out and steps over the bar and pushes some of the staff out of the way, holds a gun at someone, pushes them out of the way, starts crawling up and gets on top of the cage, looks back. Like that? Like this?
I mean, sure.
All right. People are kind of freaking out. The owner comes out. He's a Duro. So, those alien gray looking people, and he's dressed in some really fun clothes that are multicolored and stuff. And he's like, whoa, no guns. It's okay. Put him down. And everyone gets back to drink. He's like, rounds on the house for everyone. He walks up to you, clone. It's like, is that your droid there?
Yeah, he's just talking to your little pet prisoner thing.
Oh, you're here for my mascot, eh? Okay, well, I've been prepared for this. Do you guys want to come to my back room?
I mean, sure, but you say mascot, it's a kid, right?
What? No, it isn't. It's a cute bear.
It's a sapient child.
It is a sentient species.
What? No. The person I bought it from said it was an exotic pet. Here, prove it, droid. Translate what it's saying. And the droid talks to it, talks back. He's like, he says that the other night when you were talking to that, what was the name? That Genosian, they were not hitting on you. They were just chatting you up while the Ithorian woman behind the bar picked your wallet. He's like, that's not, checks his wallet. Oh. Okay, no, all right, I believe it. I'm sorry, I didn't know. You can have him. Are you his parents? One of you, at least?
No, we're just returning them. We have a couple of his other siblings that got caught up in this trafficking scheme.
Okay,
we'll return it to its race.
No, that's for the best. That's for the best. Jeez, I thought you were here to steal my mascot. I thought you were from the other bars.
And so we open the cage. And Musk goes,
You don't open. No. You don't open that cage at all. First of all, that cage is made of reinforced Beskar. Second of all, it's locked. Third of all, and this is what he says, don't try to force it open. That's actually a gift from my wife who passed away, so I don't want it to be broken. It used to belong to her.
The cage?
Yeah, covered in skulls with a luxurious bed in it and stuff.
All right.
Clint Eastwood face number 3 coming up.
He kind of notices you're all looking at it weird. It's like, she was a witch.
Like a Dathomirian?
Yeah, she was from Dathomir. Are you from Dathomir?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm not.
No, yeah, she was a witch. So
yeah.
I was like, it's something of hers I keep around. Anyway, you guys actually do have to come to the back room, but you're gonna laugh when you see this. And he brings you to the back room. It's like, okay, so normally I would say come with me and I'd walk forward and you go to like my back room, right? And then he hits he hits a button and like the floor opens up into a pitfall trap. But then I'd trigger the pitfall and you'd fall into my kill chamber.
It's a good one. I like it.
But to be clear, the key is in the kill chamber. I do put it there to make it fair sport. So we have to go into the kill chamber. Grab a rope or something. I'm just gonna hop down. There is a secret way in, but it's on the other side of the bar, and it won't lead you to the. Just come this way. Just come this way into my kill chamber.
Sicarius just walks down the walls because he can do that.
Yeah. All right, you're in a corridor, and it's covered in ship metal, and he hits a button, and some turrets pop out of the walls and disarm. It's like, so this is where the turrets are, and they'd shoot you a bunch before you try to get rid of them. And he just keeps walking down the hallway. It's like, now then you take a turn here, and then you trip this invisible sensor, and all of a sudden spinning blades happen in the middle of the hallway, and that turns on the ventilation system under the city I tunneled into. See, this is actually a city vent that I put a corridor around so that the blade would come through and chop you up. And the only way to disable it's on the other side, so you'd have to shoot your way through to turn it off. Because you guys can't turn the buzzer off from behind it, right?
I'll just look at any of the Jedi.
No, it's quite ingenious. Please go on.
You have a very efficient kill chamber.
Yeah, thanks. The other bars are pretty competitive around here, so I like to, at least do my best. Can one of you disable it, though? I don't have the off switch on this side, and the key is in the chamber. Can you just use the force out of character to turn it off? Because you just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay, you have magic, so that would have made this really easy. You would have just breezed through this kill chamber. And he brings it to the end. It's a classy chamber. It's like an amphitheater almost, and it has bookcases and spiral staircases in the middle leading up to the balcony. It's so I'd be here on the balcony. I'd have my sniper rifle out, and when you walked in, I'd shoot you immediately with a knockout round, and then I knock you out, and then I tie up in this chair and interrogate you, and then send pictures of you to the other bar.
But what about the chandelier?
What do you mean the chandelier?
The chandelier above the balcony. You said you would be
He looks up to the chandelier above him that's hanging from a chain. Well, what about it? It's classically placed in the center of the room.
Well, don't you think that they just shoot it or use the force if they have the force, or it just falls right on you?
Do you think they do that?
Oh,
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Shot,
Only if they were being extremely unsporting.
Oh wow, yeah, that would, and it's all made of wrought iron metal and stuff. It would crucify me.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
My God. All right. I'll do something about that chandelier for next time. Okay.
Probably want wall sconces instead.
Oh, and I can make one of them a secret entrance.
Yeah,
with the lever. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. No, that's good, Mr. Clone.
Tasteful and classic, yeah.
Anyway, he goes to a skull on one of the shelves and opens it up, and there's a little data machine on it. He's and here's the key card. Wait, why do I need the key card? Oh, right. Goes inside the skull and the key. Right. So he uses the key card to unlock the secret elevator. You guys climb up a little ladder, and you guys emerge from a corridor in the men's bathroom. And it's now you see, if you came in here earlier, you might have noticed that there was a seam on the wall leading to the secret entrance, or you would have noticed that there's an uneven number of mirrors to sinks, and could have gone, wait, maybe there's something in here, right? He leads you back into the bar and unlocks the cage and takes the buddy. I was I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were a person. My bad. And it's holding onto the cage, not wanting to go. It's no. Back with your mother. and he gives it to Shining Peaks.
I take it.
Did he give it to Shining Peak because she's the only woman?
Yep.
Yeah.
Only
also,
furry
she's
woman.
furry.
Yep.
Also, she's furry.
I mean,
He's like-
yeah, she might be.
Yeah, both of those reasons are the reason why, entirely.
Let's go.
Whoa,
Find your
whoa. He puts up
brother.
his hands. Whoa. Now, I'm going to give away my mascot, but, like, you know, this has gotten me thinking, maybe I'm done with the bar game. Like, good bars are supposed to have mascots and fight other bars, and I'm the best bar in town, even though they tell me I'm not the best bar in town because I work at a loss. But, like, first of all, I serve bar because I love my customers and seeing them come in every day. So that's just not fair that they wouldn't judge me by that standard. But I don't know. This whole child trafficking thing's throwing me for a loop. I think I'm going to sell my bar. And you know what? I'd really like it if you guys had some drinks with me.
Yeah, all right.
Sure.
In front of a child?
Well, I mean,
So, like, he gets up on a chair and he's like, okay, everyone, we're closing the bar. We're going to go out of business. You know what that means? Everything's on the house from here on out. Tell your friends. And everyone throws an absolute shit fit, and people start running out and getting onto, like, hollow lines. And over the next few hours, people are going to filter in, like celebrities, too.
What was this guy's name again?
Arton Moth.
Arton Moth.
So he's like, everyone, we're going to do shots with a bunch of Republic heroes, a bunch of Jedi. So you know what that means? Everyone starts chanting the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, like in unison. And he's like, do you guys know what my signature drink here is?
sure don't.
We call it Antilife.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh boy.
I sell about one shot every solar site, every solar rotation. And it's famous around here. Usually this costs at least 3 precious.
That's a damn expensive drink.
Well, it's in limited quantity. You see, and like everyone starts like, you know, getting up and as he gives the speech. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was a spice vessel called the Edmond Fitzgerald. And it was being hunted by local security forces. So it went to hyperspace into the Sisters to try and evade in the gravity wakes of the black holes. It was, of course, ripped apart and destroyed and never seen or heard from again, except centuries later, it was discovered with its wreckage. So people took its hull and sold it for scrap, which I bought, and I fashioned its hull into distillery kegs. And the distillery kegs start to descend from the ceiling on an elevator, and they look like twisted Event Horizon coral kegs with like faces and hands coming out of them with like the weird like fractal annihilation geometry. But they're clearly distillery kegs. Quadruple filtered, the best possible stock, irradiated with alien energies from our own sisters, we have the Antilife. And like he grabs a skull from behind the counter and pours the skull's worth of liquid into it. And then he moves it over to you guys and gives you all shot glasses that are chilled and are actually cold to the touch, and like pours from the eye socket about one shot each, and for himself. And he's like, to my bar.
cheers.
And you all do a shot?
Yes. And also, though, I am keeping in mind, even though like it won't help me, but I am keeping in mind the fact that like how fucked up that medical ship was after going through the Sisters. So I'm doing the shot, but I'm not expecting to have a good time.
Oh, I'm definitely doing the shot. I'm expecting to have a good time.
So you will all quickly start to not feel your faces and lose track of your extremities, as at least one of you, I'm sure, is going to ask, I'm starting to feel weird from this shot.
Being a droid, I don't actually drink.
Yeah, not you, Steph. Not you. The living.
Being immune to poisons, I assume I'm pretty good on this?
Is anyone going to ask, I'm starting to feel strange?
I will.
And he turns to you as everything starts to go in slow motion for all of you who drank. Well, yeah, it's infused with spice. It was a spice freighter. The spice is in the metal. And as a reminder, spice is like a hard narcotic in Star Wars. It's like heroin and meth mixed together.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And
I hate this planet so
And it's been
much.
exposed to alien necromantic energy for centuries.
I've never done this drug before.
So you get a bunch of very skitzed out scenes, even you, Ian, because this is magic. Go fuck yourself.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. I was just curious.
Nothing bad happens to you. Nothing like there's no other shoe to this, but the night gets skitsy very fast. Or like you can see the bar, people cheering, people like drinking to you, people singing Republic battle hymns. Everyone praising the barkeep. Other bartenders come in to pay their respects and take pot shots at him. But then as the night goes on, everything gets a lot more neon as people start like covering themselves in like bioluminescent paint and like drinking bioluminescent drinks. So it looks like a black light, strobe light nightmare as people are laughing with like mouths glowing green and their eyes are really pronounced. And there's laser shows and droids come out and start doing dances and stuff. And you lose track of it very quickly before slam scene swipe. You're waking up in the morning and you're all at the bar still.
Is Art and Moth there with us?
Yeah, he's sitting at his bar next to you guys. He's holding a mirror in one hand. He's shaved his head half, so he now has a skullet, and he's currently using a paintbrush to put eyeliner on to give himself black makeup, and has put pale white foundation on to make him look like a Dracula.
Amazing. I'm gonna walk over to him, and I'm gonna hand him some like absolutely gorgeous silk robes that like are tailored. They look just right for the look he's going for with this Dracula skullet look.
He refuses. I'm sorry, I can't take that from you. It's part of my beliefs. Now that I'm starting a new life, I have to start from scratch.
I insist. That was the greatest night I've had in a very, very long time.
You know what?
Please.
You know what? You know what would make me happy? Could you donate them to like a charity or an orphanage?
Of course. If that will you join us though?
Oh, I can't. I've taken another job. I have to go back to my old life. I'm 75. The bar didn't work out, obviously. I thought the bar would keep me happy. It did for 20, 30 years. He air quotes buried my wife running this bar. I couldn't bury her. I had to send her back home so they could put her in a cocoon so she could be raised as a zombie to defend their people if they ever get attacked. So I didn't get to actually bury her. But, I've lived a life here. It's time to move back to what I'm good at.
But
so what are you moving back to?
Oh, I'm a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He has like a skull pauldron. He puts a skull pauldron onto his shoulder and like has a bandolier of like grenades.
Just okay. I will donate this one, but then take this. No, it's like a more practical, like just rope.
He's like, no, I'm sorry. I have to start from scratch. It's how I renew myself. It's part of my renewal ritual.
Sicarius, do you want me to beat him up so that I'd make a bond with him and he has to go with us?
You were the best.
At this point, he has a hungover Jedi sling an arm over his shoulder. He's like, what about if instead of hunting bounties, you saved the universe?
Yes.
Look, you guys are great, but I have a feeling that you won't be happy with me, and I won't be happy with you. Like we talked last night, and we all kind of agreed that we just wouldn't be a good fit. And I appreciate you let me down easy, but, you're doing a different thing than I'm doing.
Very well.
And like he takes out a hot brand he's made and like puts it on his other cheek, and it's your brother's personal symbol.
What?
That really burns. Oh, I love it.
What? Do you know whose symbol that is?
Yeah, my new employer's.
That's my brother.
Oh my god, you're related to Admiral Trench? Yeah. Well, it must be the will of the Force then. It was very nice to meet you. I'm sure he'd be a wonderful employer. You're such a nice guy, dude.
Say hi to him for me, and tell him I hope he's doing well.
I will.
Thanks.
Anyway, I'm sorry that I can't adventure with you all. I'm glad that we were able to sort that out last night. But, all the best. And, thank you for stopping me from engaging in child trafficking. You did a really good thing for me.
Glad we could help.
And he like cocks a rifle and like puts it on his back and like continues like putting his makeup on so he looks like Batman, but with like puffy smeared makeup. And he gets up and he walks away. The person from his rival bar is there, and she's like, he gave me the property so I could like use this as a food court for my bar across the street. I was going to try and kill him. I didn't realize I could just talk him out of it by telling him his mascot. Oh, it's really good. I sold mine.
You what?
Well, where'd you sell it to?
The zoo. And you hear a "God damn it" in the background as Prego, the circus master, walks in with his whip in his hand. Are you kidding me? Both of them?
There's one more to go.
And the bar closed? Are you kidding me? I've come here every year for my birthday.
The man left to follow his dreams.
Well, that's miserable for me. He just walks away like just being mad because you ruined his birthday drink spot.
The bar has run dry.
Okay. Well, you guys have met one of the Overlord's new organization threats, Artan Moth, also known as Killer Moth, the bounty hunter.
It's amazing. I did, by the way, I am sending that one precious, and I will donate it to children for him.
I forgot. He walks by. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. And he like goes into like his storage and pulls out half of one of those styes and gives it to Dreadnought. Yeah, here you go, just like you asked for, right?
What did he give? What did he give Dread?
You know the sty?
I missed that.
The brewing sty made out of like evil metal. He gives you one he sawed in half.
Oh yes, I was gonna bring it up, but I didn't know if that would be like weird to ask. Yes.
No, you did last night. Remember?
Yeah, definitely. I totally remember that.
Yeah, he gestures to like he has 2 air tanks on his back that are actually connected together to make an X pattern, and they hook into like a breathing system on front of his armor. He's like, yeah, I spent some hours last night putting it together, just like you said. I can't believe I didn't think of aerosolizing the drink so I could just breathe it in as a combat stim. That's genius. Good luck putting that on your mech.
No problem.
You know, you Republican clones get a bad rap, but you tank-born are just fantastic people.
I forgot that I wanted to do that.
Yeah, good thing I remembered because I forgot to till that moment. Anyway, Killer Moth with his combat stim Dark Annihilation tanks walks on out to see you guys later in the future when you can recruit him as a companion.
Then it should be a Nazi, so we'll have to kill him.
What do you hate, Holden?
I hate this planet so much.
You guys have a feeling you talked to him about something, but you just can't place it unless you wanted to, like, together try and work it out with look closely.
Don't worry, Zevin. That is just the hangover talking.
I mean, Kim remembers everything. Kim was sober.
I was there.
Yeah, you weren't there for this conversation. You got pulled off to talk to some celebrities. Like, some governors and diplomats showed up to ask if everything was all right and if they could do anything to help you out. And you're like, yeah, you helped me out with this stuff. And they said they'd follow up with you.
Fair enough.
Okay,
So I did never hear that one.
Yeah, you're the designated driver.
Yeah, exactly.
No, wait a
Do you
minute.
guys want to attempt
Where's
to-
our supply of teddy bears that we've collected so far?
They're all in the cage.
Accounted for?
They're where the cage was, and they're all like eating food. Because he took the cage with him because it belonged to his wife.
All
He's
right,
allowed
let's
to
round them
keep
up and
that.
head for the zoo then. God damn it.
All right. We can let that memory die then, whatever it was.
Nobody
Oh,
wants
I-
to
I
try to
wanted to-
remember?
I wanted to know. I was just
And you
waiting
have
for
to-
the conversation to stop.
You got to talk with people then to get the look closely trigger.
What? Sorry, what?
You got to talk together to get the look closely trigger.
We can't
Dread.
do that on the way?
I mean, you're on the way now. You are wherever you want to be in fictional positioning. Just start doing the
Yeah,
thing.
sure. So what in the hell happened last night?
So much fun.
Yeah, each of you narrate a thing you did during. Each of you narrate a thing you did or a thing someone else did. You guys get to pick that happened, and those should help spin your memory back to the conversation you blacked out on.
I remember dancing on the ceiling with a bunch of people.
You
And-
were actually a disco ball, Sicarius, for a while.
Yes, I got covered in glitter and just spun on the ceiling. Oh
Yeah.
man, that was fun.
Yeah, you were
Oh.
You were Mary Jane and Peter Parkering it the whole night.
Yes. What a good night. He brushes off a little bit of the glitter on him that he just realized he's still.
A couple of spiders shake loose, covered in glitter.
Oh, it's gonna take forever to wash this out of my coat, but it was worth it.
Well, we are trying to get Kim drunk. We ended up giving him a kegger bath.
I want to believe it went over Kim and R2, and they both were sparking and frying. You're like, why?
That was sticking on the inside. Again, just dunk the hole in, head first.
So you have vague recollection of spending at least an hour, possibly 2, having a deep philosophical conversation with the Furlings.
Yeah.
Neither of us speaking a goddamn word of the other's language. But...
Yep, they were reminiscing on their home life and destiny and what religion means, and you were thinking about all the things that have been happening to you and the other Jedi in this area. And the last one we need is Nicole, I think.
Well, I remember making out with that not Prego.
The Doug?
Yeah. I remember that.
Okay, that did happen. You did get to a base. And I think Peter's the last one.
I mean, I was saying that, we're dunking Kim in the, keg.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay, that's everyone then. So you guys just relay what happened, and all of a sudden you're like, and yeah, we did talk to Killer Moth, to Arton Moth. He was talking to us about why he loved running the bar. And I won't even make you roll it closely. We'll just smash it back because that was an interesting kind of, quick little summary of the event. So Arton is there. There are blinding lights. You guys are several drinks in past that one shot that, also poisoned you. And Arton's just happily looking at everyone around the bar, drinking and having fun. And he's handing out drinks, he's mixing them. He's he's kind of dancing with his staff a bit, the young staff members and the older ones as they're making drinks. And it's just a good time. And he sounds like, I'm going to miss this. This has been the best years of my life, I think.
Well, why are you stopping?
Oh, it's time to move on. The bar is good and all, but I think I'm getting too into the local scene. I built a kill room to kill other bar agents so they'd steal my mascot, and I'm supposed to steal theirs. It just seems all very contrived. Yeah, I want it to be simple. I just like serving people every day. And I can't believe they would disqualify me from being a real competitive bar just because I made all my money before I opened the bar and I used that to offset the loss. If they became super successful running the bar and got a lot of money, doesn't that count? Who cares if I made it before?
I hear you, and I agree.
It's a little cliquey for me, and I don't like the banking clan, and I just want to serve customers. It's the greatest feeling in the world having to serve them. They come in here every day, for years sometimes, and they let me serve them poison and kill them just a little. And they thank me for it. How could I take money for that?
I see.
So you're all, too drunk to realize how...
tear in his eye.
Yeah. You're all a little too wasted to internalize what he's saying. It's crazy. I come to this planet after being a bounty hunter for so long where I got paid to kill people. And here it's legal. I can do it in small doses over time. I could do it over years. So I watch them shut down. And I never get that experience anywhere else in any other job, that? And it's ethically okay. They want it to happen because it increases commerce. I don't understand it. I'm going to miss it a lot, but you got to move on at some point, right? And that's Arton Moth's, that's why he's a barkeep instead of a bounty hunter.
See, if I had known that beforehand, I probably wouldn't have wanted to drink with him. It seems a little bit inappropriate.
Oh, no. Sicarius still would have drank with him.
A little poison between friends.
Yeah,
you guys worked this out on the drive to the zoo.
Makes me wish he had enjoyed us so much more.
But you guys all agreed in your drunken states, I don't think you'd fit in with us, we're not about that. That's not us.
We're heroes, and that's a little anti-heroic for us.
We could have learned to be better.
It's all about killing the right people.
Exactly.
Perfect.
You'll notice Sicarius used "we could have learned to be better," not "he could have learned to be better."
We could have adapted to him, Killer Moth.
Exactly. He's a beautiful soul.
So, just keep that in mind when you see him next time. You remember his motivation for being himself.
Money.
Yeah. Anyway, eventually you guys take a trip to Little Kashyyyk, a slice of jungle flora and fauna here on Commercia. It is a zoo for like Kashyikian wildlife. Is anyone still there? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. All right. Well, I start wandering around the grounds trying to find the Wonder Bear.
There are signs everywhere saying, come see the main exhibit to see our new family member. And there's a picture of a baby Wookiee with a pacifier in its mouth. There's like Kashyikian animals on display, like giant woolly spiders or like demon stalker plants that grab you and eat you alive, and like lizards and stuff all over. And yeah, there's a big like enclosure in the middle of the zoo where there's like two Wookiees that clearly have like a cave with like a bed and a TV screen and like bookshelves, and they're just lounging about like eating dinner in front of like an audience, and they have like a little like woven vine manger hanging from the floor that the Furling baby is in, and one of them's just like watching holo screens while like eating a bowl of Kashyyyk food, Wookiee food.
Is this whole zoo like this?
This is the only exhibit with Wookiees in it. The rest are just like animals and plants and like little like greenhouses.
So, who here speaks Wookiee?
Droid?
R2 size.
We should have been spending R2 or something like that for all these moves.
Why? You can just stats are true, and one of Nicole's main things is you can change the stat to be anything. So it's not like it's a resource to expend. His stat is he's a protocol droid and he can do translation. It's a true stat. He's not using it for like a stress scenario. It's just for greasing through the narrative. If it counted for like a big deal, then we spend protocol for like decipher ancient Sith and his brain explodes.
So, R2.
What do you want, Primitive?
Well, talk to the other primitives.
He turns to Sicarius and starts making spider sounds.
Sicarius just very slowly starts to pick his gun up and slowly start to point it at R2.
You think I'm afraid of death, Spider?
Puts his gun back down. You know what? You're right. You're not. Remind me to ask Dredd to reprogram you to something a little more pathetic.
You think the idea of existential terror frightens me, Spider?
I genuinely don't know anymore.
All he's going to do is ask your questions back at you.
I'm too hungover for this, you guys. Someone else argue with the droid.
A bunch of people are gathering around you guys to take pictures with you because you're heroes. And you're clearly a Jedi, and like before Kim is here, and everyone loves that droid.
I wave and take pictures.
Oh, it's feeding time. A bunch of kids run up and get like food from a dispenser. It's like packaged meals, and they start sliding them into chutes into the enclosure, and the Wookiees kind of go over and start collecting them and put them on a shelf.
Bagu snacks.
Well, then takes out what looks like a pig ear and starts chewing on, and everyone's cheering.
That's so depressing.
Well,
all right, sounds like there's a lull in the action happening. Should I start throwing out hard cuts?
Yes,
Not
cut
fair. I
us,
just
cut
got
us.
back.
we were moving slowly to wait for Dredd to get back, so Dredd can.
Pretty much.
All right, Dredd is back.
I respect R2's free will. I'm not going to force him to do anything he doesn't want to do.
Oh, he's just being sassy about it.
I know.
To talk to the other primitive, so he's going to be sassy. Just tell him to do what you want. He's a servant.
R2, would you translate R? Bleh.
Ask the Wookiee if they want to be here.
Yeah, ask the Wookiee if he wants to be here.
All right, he walks over and says, hey, you guys. My people want to know if you want to be here. And the Wookiees start chatting back at him. They say they're good.
As in they want to stay here?
Yeah, they say they got a pretty sweet deal. 5 square meals a day, people who cheer at them when they do lazy things. And they gave them a baby.
It's not their baby, though.
Yeah, we sort of need the baby back.
Ask the baby if he wants to stay there.
Yeah.
All right, they'll ask him. They talk back. It's like they don't understand the baby.
Ask the baby.
Take the pacifier out.
Tell Roger to ask the baby.
Yeah,
all right, a chain of things goes by. It's like the baby wants to leave. It likes its adoptive Wookiee parents it's had for the last little while, but it wants to go home.
Okay. Well.
So I think we need to speak with the zoo's management.
Our language?
The Wookiees understand you guys.
That's what I thought. They usually can understand us. They just can't.
Yeah, that's why R2 just spoke in basic to them.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I mean, you can't assume everyone's well educated.
It seems like most Wookiees speak basic.
It's really easy to pick up. It's like the easiest language in the world.
You mean the universe?
Basic.
Like, it's a super simple language. That's why it's called basic. Every other language is more complicated. It can hold on more complex conversations. Basic's like someone who needs glasses not wearing their glasses. Speaking a real language is like wearing glasses.
So
anyway,
I think we need to speak with the zoo's management then.
Yeah.
All right, a Doug, not like the last 2 you've seen, ambles on out. He is wearing black and white striped clothing with like a black and white striped fez. Because that's what zookeepers wear, right?
Sure.
All right. Perfect. Hello there. You're 411KM, our favorite customer, everyone's favorite customer. What can we do for you today? Would you like to feed the Wookiees? We have fish heads.
Oh, no, but thank you. Unfortunately, I have
if
to
we
tell
put
you...
on if we put on some jizz music, they start dancing.
I have some bad news for you, unfortunately. Your new Wookiee baby is not actually a Wookiee and was illegally attained.
No, it's an albino Wookiee. They look different.
It's really not.
Are you sure? Because, that looks identical to me. Maybe it's a little fatter than I'm used to Wookiees looking. Wookiees are strangely long. But maybe they start chubby.
Its head is also way too big, but also babies' heads are usually way too big. So
babies' heads are usually my 8 daughters and 5 sons had big heads.
It's not actually a Wookiee. It came from Hoth.
Oh, it's a Wampa. Well, that's even better. Wampas and Wookiees are natural enemies. They fight each other to the death. Wait. Yeah, no, it's good. It's fine. I can get a second enclosure and have them do Friday night brawls.
Well, but that's...
The Wookiees in the pen, they're just shaking their head like, nah, we're not going to do that.
No, and I basically tell him that the not a Wookiee was actually kidnapped and I need to give it back to its race, but I'm prepared to compensate him for the loss of whatever money he would lose by losing one of his attractions.
Well, that's actually really kind of you. Thank you. Well, I'll take that. It's better that I get the money from you and give it to you than my loser brother.
Who's your brother?
Oh, he runs a circus. He's the worst.
Oh, that guy!
He called me tonight asking me if I'd sell him the Wookiee baby when I thought it was the Wookiee's baby. I'm like, I'm not going to separate it from its parents, you idiot.
The zoos aren't allowed to sell things.
Oh, they are in Commercia Prime. I have a seller's contract with my zoo insurance.
In Commercia Prime, you can sell anything.
Yeah.
That's the law here.
It's the banking clan. So, how much precious are you willing to give him for him to give you the Wookiee baby?
How much do I have to give him?
How much are you willing to give him?
I don't know, 2 precious.
That's enough.
Okay.
That is enough. The Wookiees pat the Ewok child on its head and give it a kiss, and they give it back to you, and they wave goodbye to it, and it waves goodbye to them, and they trade pictures with each other, and there you go.
All right, we have all the babies.
No, you don't.
Wait,
you're missing one.
Oh no! God damn it!
Just as those politicians,
the necromongers attack this planet, it's okay if we get engine troubles on the way there. That's all I'm saying.
So as you walk in, you get a call from one of those senators you were talking to last night who said they'd help you out. They give you a list of where all these kids were going, and there is one more that was recently sold off from a collection just a few days ago to the Space Maggot estate.
That doesn't sound like a nice
place
Please
to
tell
visit.
me that's not
No.
Well, the Space Maggot family has been on Luxuria for a while. They're actually people who sell droideca to the local separatist garrisons.
What's a droideca?
You know, those rolly droids with machine guns?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're colicoids.
Okay.
Colicoids are cockroach people.
Is there
and cannibals.
There we go. So I was like, okay, so they took it, but why do they want it if they're droid sellers? It's they're cannibals. We should.
Colicoids are culturally sapient eaters and cannibals.
Oh, charming.
Yeah, you can see where the droideca design came from.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to make your way to the estate?
Let's
make
your way. Yeah, right?
Okay, the Space Maggot estate is a military compound in one of the commercial districts of Luxuria. It is well defended, and it is on, not lockdown, but they're not taking visitors because they don't take visitors. That's their house. They call people on a monitor. So, what is your plan for this?
We do have the air with us.
I can get in and talk to anybody.
Oh shit, right. I forgot about that when I prepped this kill box.
I assume that I call them up on the monitor, we go back and forth, they don't want to let me in, and then I hold up the orb and they go, "Oh, I see."
Yeah, they power down their droideca, their Model 2 droideca, their Super Battle droideca. They power them all down and just let you come on in. They're currently in the servants' kitchen. So you guys walk into the servants' kitchen, which is smaller than their grand main kitchen. And there is a Lasat teenager there. She's in a chef's outfit. There are 3 cockroach monsters standing around a stove that is unlit. And in a pot, whose head pops out just as you walk in a vat of soup, is one of the baby Furlings.
So these guys...
They're gonna eat the baby.
Because my immediate reaction is to just kill them. So someone else may want to take the lead if that's not what you want to happen.
All right. Excuse me, I've been hired to collect this furling and return it to its family.
So one of the colicoids goes, "Furling? It's not a furling, it's a loft cat." And the other one goes, "Of course, we were also holding on to this furling to give it back to its rightful parents." And the third one goes, "This isn't as bad as it looks." Because he immediately notices that you're with a bunch of Jedi and a Republican super soldier and a clone and an Ilvanian. And who else is with you, too? There was someone else with you.
Terrifying spider.
Yeah, you know. Oh, and you brought the other babies
not so
with
terrifying
you.
to them.
Yes.
Yeah, probably not terrifying to them.
You brought the other babies with you, so they clearly know what's up. So one of them is like, "No, we're ignorant. We don't know. We're just eating a food." And the other one's like, "Yeah, we're taking care of this
food.
We're taking care of this baby." And the third one's like, "Don't murder us for eating this baby."
Well, I turned to the one that goes, we were just taking care of it, and I motioned to him to give me the goddamn baby.
And you hear a slam as you guys look over to the table in the servants' kitchen, and sitting there is Prego, the circus master. He has
God damn it, Prego!
He has gotten up and he has left his whip that he's been holding this whole time, by the way, on the table, and he immediately waits about a beat and then runs. And the camera for brief moment follows him as he runs at top speed, slamming open a door, that kitchen door that goes both ways, running to the elevator, hitting the elevator button, going, come on, taking the stairs, tripping, falling down the stairs a bit, getting his footing, running out the building, top speed across the street of the warehouse district, into the river, swims across the river, gets to the other bank, runs to the highway, flags down a taxi hover car, gets in and jumps on the floor and goes, other side of the planet, stat! And the camera just continues showing him drive off into the sunset as it then swivels back to that door that was opening other ways, and it just finishes closing and goes stationary as the camera swivels back to the group. As that one colloquoid looks back to you and slowly starts taking the baby out of the pot.
Wise decision.
We were just giving him a soothing bath to help relieve his stress.
Give us
favorite. He's giving it. He's handing it slowly. You just,
Oh yeah, and I assume the carrots are his bath toys.
You're so wise and correct, clone. You are well manufactured. You and your creator and I would have been friends.
You're so well manufactured, and I bet yours taste really well too. That's a compliment.
Give us the baby, and we'll think about overlooking this.
They do. They have given you the baby.
Okay.
The baby, by the way, looks significantly chubbier than the other babies.
I hand it to Shining Peak.
Thanks,
like how everyone Shining Peak the baby when Shining Peak is clearly not the maternal role.
Now, Shining Peak, I do have to point out this baby smells amazing.
I said shaky it dry.
The colloquids really know how to season.
Okay, when you say shaking it dry, what do you mean, though?
I mean, it's just been in a pot of stew, so I don't want to get my clothes all wet.
You're shaking the baby.
I don't know how you're shaking it.
Again, not the maternal figure, you guys. Why are we giving them the baby? They're our fighter. They go on blood rampages.
They just roll down some flowers right off.
Pull down buildings. They're bare hands.
But she's the furry one.
She's also the only woman.
If only Kim was the bunny droid, Okay, little fatso, go with your brothers. I lick my hands.
They probably taste great.
We're going back to our ship and
we'll
we're never speaking of this again. Oh, God.
So the colloquids are just standing there staring.
Kind of shuffling their digits.
Well, they kind of all make a yawn. It's time for us to go nest, and they all roll up into little pill bug balls and start rolling away.
I still do think that we should kill them because they're clearly involved in purposely trying to eat children.
One problem at a time.
Well, yeah, but that's legal here, so what you gonna do?
I mean, legality doesn't equal morality.
Is murder
Probably
legal
best
here?
not to start a huge firefight in the middle of a fortified compound when we do have 5 children.
That is true. We do have a bunch of innocents, and also I forgot they had a fortified compound.
Yeah,
Right.
that we're in the middle of.
Yeah. Still don't like it. I'm gonna Snapchat them for later.
I mean, you guys
Going
can
on the list, mister.
you guys can just come back here later and kill them all.
Yeah. Once we drop
I
the
will
kids
point
off.
out the Republican is pulling out a gun and starting to walk after them.
No,
Somebody needs to
we're
grab
going
him.
this way. We're going this way.
Oh, okay. Hey, have you guys noticed that we picked up a delicious smelling baby?
Okay, I'm going to take the baby from wherever it ended up. I don't remember who ended up with it. And I'm going to take it back to the ship to give it a real bath.
Yes, please.
Also, I know that it's actually a baby, so actually it can just have its own bath. I mean, it knows how to have a bath on its own.
Put it on tumble dry.
It's a teenager. It can bathe itself, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I know what exactly planned, and the teenager's like, the strange man stripped me naked and took me in the shower with him,
Right? I forgot he was a teen and not like an actual baby.
Oh, God. Well, we have to go door to door and announce ourselves every new planet we fucking land on.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, Dad. You're the younger one of the two.
Anyway, we will now star wipe back to your ship after you collected all 5 Furling children.
Yes, please, thank you.
And all 5 of them, one of them significantly chubbier than the others, are all just hanging out in the ship. You did it. You did it.
We saved the babies.
And now you're ready to take them home, and we can show you where they live.
All right.
Which we'll put into the session so we can, wrap up the last little bits of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So set a course for Hoth.
Oh, while we're traveling, I have an aside with Zevon.
Oh yeah.
And I ask him if Jedi do ritual scarification on themselves.
Jedi often follow the traditions of their homeworld, but that's not a standard practice within the order itself, no.
Oh, interesting. Oh God, what's the
Rudwar.
Rudwar, thank you. Because I was looking over the medical reports, and Rudwar seems to have a lot of unusual scarring that he says is skin patterns, but is obviously not.
Oh, no. You've misunderstood. He didn't say that at all. The medical droid did. They're like, we don't know how to explain these.
Oh, the medical reports show many unusual scars over his body.
Well, he has been through quite a lot since arriving in the sector.
It's true. I just wasn't sure if it was a religious practice or not.
Not to the best of my knowledge. I'll keep an eye on him.
Perhaps you should. So just insert a little possible foreshadowing?
Dun dun dun!
Right.
All right. So does anyone else have any other scenes they want to do of like roleplay, interaction, bond building?
I feel like I did have ones, but I don't remember what I wanted to do.
Your droid? Another bond, goddamn you.
I mean, he did save all the babies together. So that's a bond in itself.
Him.
Oh yeah, do we get bonds with the kids?
Yeah, you can get a bond with all of them.
I'll do some bonding with my bug swarm. Keep them happy.
Keep them entertained.
Feed them, entertain them, regale them with stories of how I went drinking, and half of them were probably there drinking with me.
Did anyone buy any exotic pets with money?
I thought about it, but I did not.
You could have bought more spiders at the Wookiee Zoo.
Ooh.
And you have Precious. And the
yeah.
All right, yeah, spend however many Precious you want for how many more bug swarms.
Okay, I'll get another bug swarm.
You can get, you have 2 Precious. Why not 2 more?
No, I spent 1 Precious because I have donated it to the orphanage, which gives me a bond with a random orphanage on Commercia Prime.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm spending one of my piles of jewels to fill the ship with porgs because I can.
Oh yeah, porgs. Yeah, they were on sale at the auction. Just
Maybe some loft
porgs. Loft cats, sure. Just spend Precious and write them on your character sheets with bonds and companions. You guys have pets?
Give them some names so that when they die, it'll hurt all the sweeter.
You give them some names and make sure they have stats so you could use them to gain advantage to have food when you start starving.
If anybody invades a ship, we're just going to cover them with spiders and porgs.
Right? It's going to be a nightmare. They're going to be attacked by wild animals. So, unless anyone else has anything else, the hyperdrive trip continues as you emerge over Hoth. So, first thing that's happening on Hoth is there's a necromonger fleet in orbit, and it's spread out across the entire planet, and they're dropping like patrol ships down and like search parties, and they're doing sector by sector searches of the planet for something. You guys get a communication actually from one of the necromonger ships.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's Captain Crunch.
What does it say?
It's like a live feed. Like, she is calling you. This is a phone call.
Oh. Well, answer.
All right, she's on screen. She's wearing her necromonger outfit, but it's like much more streamlined and a little more professionally done. And she's like, "Is that you guys? Are you getting this?"
Yes, we are here. What is it?
Why are you in Hoth's orbit? We're here.
There were a bunch of the local natives that were kidnapped, and we're returning them to their tribe.
All right, well, do that and get out. We're here searching for something.
What are you searching for?
I don't know, but everything's changed in the last couple of weeks. Our general's gone, and now we have a new commander. The uniform policy's being enforced. There's more strict regulations. Everything's been streamlined. We have search patterns. Ship production's gone up like 200%. They're popping out ships faster than ever over the last few weeks. There's regulations and planning and structure going in place. It's all over.
Well, we'll
take
get in and out as fast. Yeah, we'll take it under advisement.
All right, and she like cuts the feed.
Searching for something on Hoth.
So, one of the things I forgot to mention that I was doing during downtime was running information analysis on the information we got from the Event Horizon.
Yeah, Jesus.
During the first box. Is this a good time to actually cross-reference that and let everyone know about the lore you sent me, Devin?
Yeah, sure. Do you know what? For weird stuff that you don't already know, you can look closely. Like that. This is justification to roll look closely, and you already know what I sent you, so this would be extra stuff on top of that.
Okay. Then let me bring up a dice roller.
So start telling people what you know from the analysis, and then when you start to get to questions you might not know the answer to, that would be when you want to use the look closely.
Okay. Okay. So what we got from the Event Horizon was that there was a given on the ship as the doctor, and he was the only survivor, right?
That's right, because of his unique biology.
Right. And we're starting to suspect that may be the Lord Marshal, correct?
It's basically confirmed at this point.
Okay. I'm going through information about what the hell they could possibly want on Hoth, and for everyone's information, some side lore that I got that thousands of years ago in the golden age of the High Republic, in the void between galaxies, I'm just going to read it off, so.
Well, I'll just post it too while people are reading it.
Yeah. There was a ship that they found that had been moving between galaxies, and the Republic sent out a ship to try to rescue anyone or anything on this ship that they discovered. But that ship crashed and disappeared. Well, it didn't crash, but it disappeared for hundreds of years until it suddenly reappeared and crashed on Hoth, along with parts of this ship that had been galaxy span traveling with unknown entities and technology on it. And that is one of the few possibilities of what is on Hoth and what they are looking for.
So yeah, that's the basic rundown of it. The High Republic found a precursor ship. There used to be a culture that dominated the galaxy before the Republic took power. The Republic's been around forever, but that precursor culture basically vanished one day, and they found a single ship belonging to them. Because when they vanished, they took all their tech with them, leaving only like tombs and temples behind. So they sent a ship to tow it out of the void between galaxies and bring it back to the Republic, and that ship went missing. That ship was the Ghost Hand, and it matches the distress records the event horizon detected in the black hole that drew them in.
I don't really know what to make of that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lull in the action.
It's not
right.
that. It's that everybody's reading the thing you just posted into the Discord.
Fair enough.
Yes. We're trying to absorb it.
That's fair.
And listen at the same time, and it's really hard to do both.
Why don't we take a break then?
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, and we're back. Perfect. So, you get that information from 411KM about the Zepho tomb ship and the Ghost Hand and the merry adventures that are going on as you dip down into Hoth because you have to deliver these babies to their home. The children are able to give you directions on like where they're going based on like descriptions of the horizon and stuff, and the Republican is also able to help you navigate. Like if you let the droid hand start touching controls, it'll start mapping courses with the Furlings talking.
Okay.
I guess it understands their language.
It understands all your guys' language. The hand understands you, it just can't communicate. You can tell it to do stuff, and it clearly can, like, get it.
I think this might be the first time my character realizes that.
Yeah. You guys pull in low and slow to the polar north of the planet through a perpetual Jupiter storm that circles the north. You can come in over top of it into the eye. And, you basically land on an expansive frozen sea in the polar north of Hoth. Who do you all unload to go bring these babies back?
The babies and the Republican.
Yeah. Well, who's going with them?
I think I figure we should, since we went to the trouble of retrieving them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Player characters and the Republican, then.
And my bug swarms.
Of course.
They go with me everywhere.
So basically what people are saying is we're telling the other Jedi not to come.
You'll get cold. One of you is a toad, so we know you'd fall asleep there.
It might be useful for them to watch over the ship.
Yeah,
right, they'll do that.
At least until we learn a little bit more about what's going on here.
All right, they'll hang by with the rest of the crew then, no problem. So you guys, as soon as you leave the ship, you notice, first of all, there's signs that there was a firefight here. There's crashed ships and scrap metal being iced over all around here, and it looks like very recent, within the last year.
Oh, right.
There's melts in the ice and stuff.
Pirate raids, yeah. Okay.
Exactly. And where you're going is two large mountains made of like actual glaciers. Like they're not made of stone, they're made of ice that like stick out like basically razorbacks. And in the shadow of them is a series of much colder ice that has almost gone sort of sea foamy blue. And there's actually tunnels you can crawl through in there.
Okay. Well, we're following the Furbolgs.
I'm imagining that, Nicole, you have like ice drills on your mech because your mech has the drill move.
Oh, yeah.
But
if there's tunnels, we can just go through, right?
Yeah, all you gotta do is like widen them a little.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, you guys do this Deep Rock Galactic style and start tunneling your way through the Furlong homes.
Now the holes are Padawan-sized.
Yeah. After a while of following these like looping tunnels that go all over the place, it opens up into a larger area. You're inside what looks like a very warm, temperate, jungly rainforest, but like all the walls and ceiling are made of ice, and there's tunnel holes everywhere. And there's little white teddy bears walking around with like little woven huts and caves made of ice that have been like furnished and stuff. Living their lives, singing songs, having fires, growing crops, cutting up animals and putting them on tanning racks. And when you all come in, they all start like making noises and like putting their weapons over their head and like making a cheering sound as the kids come back.
Yay!
Wave.
And you're in the middle of a bunch of teddy bears, some large, some small, some thinner, and a few of them huskier.
Like the one delicious smelling baby.
Right? That guy's going to grow up to be a chef.
That's so
I've
fucked
learned
up.
so much.
He's like, okay, yeah, that was really traumatic and stuff. I still have nightmares about the big skillet. But I smelled really good.
Look, those colloquids were feeding it creme brulee for dessert every single day for a year. Okay? He lived the life.
It was worth it in the end.
Gonna grow up with some
Develop
really
hunger.
weird fucking galactic network shirt strings.
Right? So yeah, they're all following you around and talking to you and making noise at you and stuff.
I'll communicate as best I can.
Through your
But-
droid.
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah.
Okay. So they're all happy that their hero has saved the day and the evil has been defeated. And that he's brought friends along the way, and that their children are back, and that they're so grateful to you, and they're going to throw a party in your honor.
Yay!
Woo!
We should ask them about their elder that unleashed the hero.
Oh, yeah, it's the father of one of the kids, the one that you've rescued first, Sunrise. He's like, yeah, an older, bigger one that wears like a bandolier of, it looks like Durasteel as like chainmail. And he clearly has like a blaster rifle that's been turned into like a sword that's been like smelted.
So where have you found the hero? Where is he from?
The hero was gifted to us by the giant aliens, our protectors.
Giant aliens?
They all say it at the same time. The giant aliens. You know what the word is, and it's in basic. Like it's a basic word. The giant aliens. He was passed down over generations and told that in a time of great triumph, we should say a prayer to the giant aliens. They all say the giant aliens, and open up his sarcophagus so he may return to the world of the living and save us.
Could you show us the location of the sarcophagus?
Yes, it's in the temple of the giant aliens, and they all say the giant aliens.
aliens.
The giant aliens.
Yeah, they like take your hand like a little toddler and like walk you to it. Like all of them do. You each have like a little Ewok holding your hand.
Aww.
And they walk all stupid like they have a tiny person in their suit. And like the babies are so small they could not find like a human that could fit inside, so they're animatronic and they're adorable. Yeah, like Gremlins, like Gizmo levels here.
Oh
my
boy.
god.
And they're tipping their hat by doing wide shots of the puppets and the suited actors moving, just to kind of be like, look at how good we got these effects.
Look at all the money we spent on puppets.
Yeah. So they bring you through a few caves, there's waterfalls, and at some point you come across like this strange bioluminescent coral that's like coming out of an opening in one cave that has twisted melted Durasteel gripping it like claws almost.
Hmm.
And like, this is the temple of the giant aliens. The giant aliens. It is forbidden for us to go through here, but I went through here carrying light and steel and woke up the hero so the day could be saved.
Okay, well, it's forbidden for you to go through there, but we're not you, so we should be fine, right?
Well, I have to return him to his resting place.
Well, I don't think he's sleepy. He's just hanging out with us now.
But how will future generations be saved?
Well, he's out here saving the whole Stir de Messina. Like
I don't know what that is.
So you know how people came and took your children?
The Sky People.
Yeah, the Sky People that took your children are doing
I'm just screwing with you. I know what space travel is.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
They all laugh. We love doing that.
Oh my god. That's fantastic. That is really great. That's hilarious.
Time to take the elder one and put him in the sarcophagus. Oh, that's with you. Haha.
I'm just screwing with you. Anyway, let's go in.
Okay. Fuck.
Hey,
I like the cut of this guy's jib.
Right? That's fantastic.
It's like, look, so we have crashed spaceship parts as part of our city. We know what space travel is. People have been crashing on this planet our entire lives. We figured it out. The giant aliens also kind of told us too. The giant aliens.
The giant aliens.
Yeah.
That is real. Okay, so yeah, inside here, it's all bioluminescent. There's no natural lighting. There's creatures moving, but it's mostly like weird reactive plants. And it's like blooming bioluminescent coral and like sea creatures and deep pressure, like muscle growths and stuff, like clinging to this cave, which feels warm. And there's like metal melted and hanging down like stalagmites everywhere. And like ancient wiring and screens have been crusted over with like crystals and coral and live things like feeding off the power to give more like bright shock light. And at the very back, the chamber opens up into what looks like a medical bay almost. Like just a room out of a ship that's been partially preserved. And in a single chamber is like an open casket that's just been frozen over. And there's technology here that's lit up and like flickering.
What's powering this?
It looks like there's still power cables connecting to the rest of the vessel wherever it is.
My God, so that we're inside of a crashed ship right now.
Do you recognize any of this? I asked the Republican.
Yeah, this is where my mom lives.
Oh, can you show us where your mom is?
Yeah, he walks over and takes your hand and walks over to one of the panels and like taps on it. And it's like, hello, Mom. And the screen turns on and it starts doing like readouts on it. It's like, she's shy.
Okay.
I look at the readouts. Does it mean anything to me?
Catastrophic systems failure detected.
I fear you might have been the only survivor of this crash.
There is an option to activate emergency medical systems, which do have a charge and were activated recently as of a year ago.
I'll activate them.
All right, one of the display panels recedes and opens, and half a droid crawls out on one arm. Its body's been twisted and covered in coral and alien energies, and like part of its like faceplate and face have been like pulled and stretched like taffy into a human skull shape while still made of droid materials. And like vestigial limbs are hanging off of it that have been clearly grown out of it by coral as it like crawls out with cabling still attached to the main computer system.
Hello
Please
there.
state the nature of the medical emergency. It's like, hello, Mom. That's my mom.
Does it reply?
It looks up at you when you talk to it.
Are you still functional?
This unit is operating at acceptable Republic standards. Do you need an operation?
Droid, state your designation and current posting.
410 KM. Emergency medical unit aboard the Republic ship Ghost Hand.
Are you guys related?
Not directly, but
Sounds
it
like
is.
he's like one level above you, like before you.
He's a.
The third digit in the number probably denotes position of the droid, like its purpose. So 1 might mean diplomat, 0 might mean medical, and maybe 2 means combat.
He is a similar build, but not identical. We possibly might have even been manufactured at the same time.
It does list its manufacturing plant, and it is from the same planet you were manufactured on.
Oh, neat.
Wherever that was, that's for you to command lore about.
I'll think of that later.
Yeah. It's crawling along, and it's putting its hand on the Republican and trying to crawl up its leg. This unit needs maintenance.
What maintenance do you need?
This unit needs maintenance.
I think.
Okay.
I think it means him.
The Republican's just like, yeah, this is what a hug's like.
Aww.
He's standing there not doing anything.
410 KM. I am Seven Dre of the Jedi Order.
It turns to you. Hello, Master Jedi. Do you need any general's priority rights in your conquest among the stars against the enemies of the Republic?
I need you to give me as much access to the Ghost Hand as you're capable of.
Proceeding. Task complete. Access given. One of the screens turns on.
Okay, what's this here?
It's a read-only readout of the ship and its status. It's currently giving out a distress signal, which was answered by a Republican ship titled Event Horizon a couple years back, about a decade or so. And it's suffered catastrophic systems failure and is rapidly and has lost most of the crew. And it's saying Doctor's priority has come into effect.
Doctor's priority has come into effect. What does that mean?
The droid speaks up. It is a doctor's sacred mission to do everything in their power to avoid losing their job. It is imperative that the casualty rate not reach 100%.
Oh my God.
Extreme measures must be taken to ensure this unit does not lose their job.
So it has been for all medical personnel across the galaxy.
This unit was able to ensure a survivor rate of 0.0001%, and is still crawling on the Republican, but can't make purchase because he's slippery.
Expressed as a simple number, how many survivors are there?
It gives that simple number back. It has to go to significant digits. It can't round.
It wants absolute numbers, as in one person survived.
Yeah. It could only go up to one, I guess, technically.
He seems to be the last survivor of this ancient wreck. And I believe that the Lord Marshal might be looking for this ship and whatever it brought back with it as well.
I fear you're right. Is there a keyboard?
No, there's no inputs on this system. It's been fried.
Damn. Scomp links, anything like that?
There are, but all the data connections have rotted away or been colonized by weird coral that seems to be growing out of this medical bay. This medical bay is oozing fluid everywhere, and there's an entire ecology outside of the room.
Droid, do any other sections of the ship remain relatively intact, or?
Readouts from the library computer tells us that there are several sections still functional, spread out across this planet and star system.
And star system?
Yeah, the distress speak is coming from a few star systems away because it's still connected to the main computer. It's in orbit around a black hole.
Oh boy.
Can you produce a schematic?
Yeah, they can. They can get you a readout for your a hologram map, but it's going to be a bit weird.
Well, what part of this investigation hasn't been so far?
Right. And locations of the different chunks.
Mm-hmm.
Locations and schematics.
Yeah.
All right.
I believe we found what the Lord Marshal is on this planet looking for, and we may be a step ahead of him now.
I believe you are correct.
All right. Well, the droid isn't much more useful, but you do get. Oh, you know what? Any of the Jedi want to put their hands on that cryo cradle because the Force is lighting it up.
Oh, sure.
Oh boy.
Might as well boop it.
All right, you guys both put your hand on it, and the Republican has his hand on it at the same time, and you guys get one final Republican vision. Everything is frozen and everything is rigid, and all of a sudden something opens up in front of your porthole lens, and you can see your body's frozen, and there's an Ewok on you, smashing at your head, being like, "Get up, get up!" And you can understand it 100%. And slowly your body starts de-thawing and getting smoother to move, and the droid arms goes from red light, red light, red light, red light, and then green light, and every light on its arm goes green and starts sealing up and closing because it was opened up under maintenance. And in one fluid motion, from your perspective, you lurch out of the casket on frozen stuck legs, grab a gun that's half fused into the wall, and yank it out. The droid arm starts doing stuff to it and getting it up and running rapidly as you're running through these corridors, following the various furry animals, trying to lead you with lights and stuff to show you where to go. Eventually, as one arm's fixing the gun and the other one's one-headed climbing up the walls of their tunnels, you get to the surface, and there are ships flying around shooting. There are Ewoks on cliffs throwing nets down and hucking bombs tied to spears at the ships to try and crash them. One's hit the ground, and a dude's gotten out of it and is looking around shooting at Ewoks as they're gathering kids up in a net. It is a full-on pirate raid, and the Furlings are fighting back a lot, they've been used to this nonsense. From your perspective, you run forward and basically slide on the ground as those holes all over your body just start leaking fluid everywhere. Shoot that guy in the head, throat, heart. Jump up, jump onto him, grab his other gun for your droid hand, which you can't quite see because it's constantly being edited out. Turn around, shoot a bunch of other people, and then grab a grapple hook and run after a ship that's taking off that someone ran to. Shoot at the ship and be pulled up into the air with it and start just pulling yourself onto it, get into the cockpit and trying to punch your way through before it engages its hyperdrive. The whole time, there's a radio from the cockpit. You can hear clear in your head. It's you have to save them. You'll have to kill them all. And you can hear that radio clear as day through the cockpit, through space, through the liquid in your suit, into your ears. And then you kind of lose vision as the hyperdrive kicks in and starts screwing with you. But it's a pretty violent battle and a pretty acrobatic one for just thought out.
Maybe one day we'll be able to fight like that.
You just gotta do it.
I wanted to.
Well, you gotta start.
Okay.
And that's the last of the 3 sets of Force visions describing how the guy got from there to here.
Wow. But why was the Doom music playing the whole time?
Yeah, it was rather shocking how quickly it went from just being alive to immediately broke into combat.
Yeah. I still don't know why it's called a tricameral mind if, seems to have one mind in its head, one mind in its arm. Where's the third mind?
So,
obviously.
Do you guys want to look closely at that? Because there's an answer that you're missing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Roll it. With hope.
7.
Let's see who's got the best.
I have a +1, so you probably have better.
For look closely, sense. My sense is mine's +0, so you should do it.
With hope.
I got a 5.
You still get a question,
boy.
Don't you?
Let's see. Look closely. 6 minus. I can only ask one question, and I find it out the hard way. So, where's the third mind, Evan?
So you're looking back at all these visions you two have been having about the Republican, right?
Yep.
And the one consistent theme is there are 2 types of interaction scenes. People awkwardly trying to talk to him and interact with him, and him doing violence on people, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But you realize you're missing a third scene, right? Because every time I describe him from his point of view, It's those two events happen, or something that can't talk or isn't talking tells him what to do. Like a voice from outside his own head. He always takes orders from someone else that wasn't talking.
So it's his vision in his head, just superimposing Ewoks onto everybody?
Well, if you think back, when he first told you how he got to Lasat Prime, he said he crashed in a ship, and on the radio, a commander told him what to do. But the teenager told you he crashed in a spacesuit, and his own point of view shows he crashed in a spacesuit, and the kid told him to do it.
Okay.
Like, he clearly, his memories are fucky. Because they're constantly overwriting and justifying what he hears from that voice that shows up in his memories all the time. Like, he'll even say when he's talking to you, he'll say, "That's a good idea. We should go do this," when no one said anything.
Okay, so I guess the third mind is that commanding voice.
As, for example, when he was getting ready to amble off to kill the colicoids until we...
Yeah, like I didn't focus in on it, but he's like, "Oh, I thought you guys said we're going to kill these guys, right?
Yeah.
You're going to do that." Every time he frames it that it's your guys who told him to do it. Or he'll say, somebody a long time ago suggested we do this in this situation, even though the situation's just happening now. Right. Same thing when someone gives him something from his robot head. He's like, I guess always wanted to have this.
Yeah, but that's him making the story. So I figured that, he's saying, "Oh, I thought you were saying that you're going to kill things." Is him telling himself the story. Well, I'm here with a gun, and those clearly are the bad guys. So we're clearly here to kill them.
Right? Like, there's justification going on, but there is a third party telling him stuff he couldn't know to do. How could he know to kill the necromongers and spare the children? What is telling him to do that? Because as far as you know, this guy's like some sort of cosmic idiot. Like, in the most literal way, he doesn't seem to be able to think.
Literally does not have a brain, although I don't believe Kim's clued us in on just how catastrophically fucked up his med scan was.
Well, you said you left the medical details open for everyone to see, so I'm assuming if anyone wanted to casually look through his med history, they could and see that video, because that was included in the checkup.
Okay, so
Yeah,
normally I would respect people's privacy and shit.
But you have an evil sword?
Now I have evil weapon shit telling me that I have a new agenda to always...
Yeah, like you were talking about
you
were talking about the Republican in front of your battle mech and in front of R2, and your battle mech like lit up a bit, and like that red and black Mandalorian code started going across the screen, and it was like, "They're hiding secrets from you." And you're
Even
like,
though I put it on the public computer and it wasn't really a secret.
She redacted something out.
Yeah, right? So you went and snooped. So anyone who wants to know about the Republicans' private medical history, and of course Krell's private medical history, can. Yeah. So you can just know that about him.
I mean, information is valuable, so...
You are a spy.
Yep.
All right, so anyone who can, does.
All right. So is that everything? Are we ready to wrap before the next big thing?
Yeah, you guys know what the Overlord is looking for. You guys know what's going to be coming on up. And it's now a race to find, and this is something we'll expand on next session, the race is on to be the first to find the Stellar Intelligence, which, as far as the records you're able to get from the Ghost Hand Ghost Hand's log, was the one piece of equipment they actually took from the ship. Its computer core.
Oh, Jesus.
The computer core of the Zepho ship was brought to the was brought to the Ghost Hand, specifically so they could interface it with the Ghost Hand and use it to drive the hyperdrive.
Oh boy.
It's said that Zepho computers were galaxies they managed to capture and in small to use as processing power for their great cities and planets. Like, there's a theory because Coruscant was always a city planet. There's a theory that at the core of Coruscant, a single stellar intelligence runs the entire solar system. That they just haven't been able to get to because of ancient defenses and like obscuring technology. Because the whole city's automated and self-replicates and self-builds. And so does its orbitals, and so do the automated vessels that leave and come to Coruscant throughout the whole solar system. The whole system runs on a tech they don't understand. They think is a Zepho computer. And now there's one here, unknown to the Republic, maybe buried under Hoth's ice. What could the Lord Marshal want with that?
Nothing good.
So we will rapid fire as you gain fellowship with the Furlings and got a lead on their mystical gods, the giant aliens.
The giant aliens.
The giant aliens.
Thank you,
And
Big
we'll
Rook.
wrap. I was Stephanie.
Right. I was Stephanie.
Nicole?
Ian.
Holden.
And this was sponsored by nobody. Signing off. Don't close your browsers.